moose trash. We are, but our voices aren't. Well, mine is. Hello, everybody. Getting ready to start here in a second. Yes, I do. Hello, everybody. We're getting started right now. Let's do this. Okay. Well, yeah, of course. Fucking corrupt reviewers. All right. Let's see. I think. Can they hear you guys? No, now they can hear you. Okay, there we go.
They miss us being funny.
Oh man, that was so funny.
God damn it. I don't want them to miss that. Okay, let's go. Mike, are you ready? Well, hang on. Let me bring up the music, and then we should be good.
Yeah, did you tweet?
No. That's just more of a suggestion than a...
During the show.
Anything else.
Let me open up the thing so I can put like timestamps and shit. Not timestamps, but where am I? There we go.
Okay.
My overlays. You finally.
That's loud. Sorry, everybody.
Did you load up the Super Metroid overlay?
It was gonna be a surprise. You dumb bitch.
Do you got it there?
Yeah, it's ready. Yeah, it's ready to go.
Okay.
No, don't be surprised.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Don't worry, the audio listeners will be very surprised.
Yeah.
Jeff. They'll still be
There you go.
wrong.
All right.
There we go.
Okay.
Hey, that's nice.
Yeah, it
That's
looks really
pretty
good.
good.
Yes, it does. All right, let's see what else do I have to do. I got a tweet, but I can do that right now. Copy. Mike
Where are you using this?
made this.
Chica, Zilla.
Thumbnail.
What account are you
I
using for
swear,
this?
please don't get mad at me about Fable.
Oh, get mad.
Oh, get mad at Jeff. This is not it. This is not it. What? Oh, are you using the Shannon Bomb thing?
What are you talking about?
Your account on YouTube. I can't find this overlay.
I haven't put it into Stream Elements yet. If that's what you're looking for.
It's okay. Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
If you want, you can have one up versus CPU. Send it to you, and then you could send me.
No,
You
it's
could get
fine.
it set up, but I'll send it to you tonight.
No,
after we
it's
get done with this.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay,
Don't worry about
Mike. If I count us in, are you good to go?
Mikey, ready?
All right, everybody. Thanks for bearing with us. We are gonna get going here in. Make sure I got that. 5, 4, 3. It's the internet. You're busy. Let's do this. Welcome to the Game Mess Decides podcast. This is the podcast where we decide everything happening in the world of video games so you never have to think for yourself. I'm your host, Jeff Grubb, and with me is
Mike Minotti.
in today's episode, we're going to be predicting what's going to be happening at the Summer Game Fest. We're going to be talking about some stuff that's been, being teased, maybe or maybe
Fable!
not. We're going to talk about Fable. We're going to talk about the criminal Yuji Naka, who will finally be paying for his crimes. What's up with Mega Man? A few other things. We'll get into all that. First up, Mike, how are you doing?
Oh, good. I took my first nap in quite a while today.
Ooh, proud of you.
I was like, all right, I gotta get a nap in today. Like normally I feel bad about taking naps. Like, oh, I take too many naps. And part of me being so tired is because I've been so busy that I couldn't take my little nappy nap. So I had to get there. But yeah, I was like, I need a couple hours here to rest up. Like the 10 Dogs was rough this week, right? I was pretty loopy for that. So I was like, I got to get a little energy boost here. Like this show's usually easier anyways because you pilot it and not me. So that's all right. But the nap helped.
Yeah, I would love to have taken a nap. Every single minute of my day was claimed by one thing or another.
Yeah, that's
whether
what it's
that
been
was
like
work
for me.
or getting ready for Summer Game Fest or taking out the trash because I got to get everything because I'm not going to be here next week. So I got to make sure everything's taken care of this week. It was everything. I had to give the kids a bath. It was a whole thing, just nonstop over here. So basically worked every minute up until this show. Took a little bit of time to get ready for this, but not much. But here we are. We're doing a show. I'm happy about it. Glad to have everyone here watching live. If you are watching live, be sure to hit that thumbs up button.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Beep, beep, beep. Breaking
Did they really
news.
announce it?
Natal of America announced Everybody 1-2 Switch coming out on June 30th. What?
All right. What a bunch of weirdos. Okay. Everybody. Okay. You know what? More for me and Mike at Discord, GameUs.net. Thank you to our mods. Thanks to Carlos Ain, One Up versus CPU, OneUpVersusCPU.com for the art around here. Patreon.com/GameUs. Get more from us, the ad-free episodes, monthly Q&A, the Jeopardy, 1 month early access to our Jeopardy games is always a lot of fun. Participation in our monthly game club discussions with Mike, which Mikey and Turbo Sean run, all that stuff. Join us, come hang out. And if you ask a super chat during the show, we'll get to all of them before the end of the episode. Okay, what does it say? You watched the trailer? Any details? I mean, we know about this thing. It's the game so bad that they didn't want to release it. And here it is. Their big game for the other big game for this year.
Mix up your next get together with Everybody 1-2 Switch game. With Everybody 1-2 Switch game, grab some Joy-Con controllers or smart devices for team-based games that are easy to set up and feature everything from balloons to aliens and more. God, split it teams to see which group can win a certain number of games first. I don't know, man. I never even played 1-2 Switch. I still don't really even understand what it is. There's the featured character in the splash art is a man with like the terrifying horse head. What? Okay. You know what? Yeah, announce this in a tweet at least, I guess. Sure.
Okay, so everybody's 1-2 Switch is the thing that Imran Khan reported on, like, what was it, a year ago? And he was like, okay, it's kind of battle royale-y in that there's a bunch of people playing at once. You have a bunch of people playing, and it goes by in rounds. And what the test players found is that by like the 7th round, when there's still people who haven't been eliminated, the game is so excruciatingly boring. Because all of those games do not last for very long. They are like mild diversions at best the first time around. And then when you get around to repeating any of those mini games in there, it's really boring. I thought they would give it away as part of Nintendo Switch Online. Fuck me, I guess. $30.
Well, yeah, $30 instead of $50 like the original, at least, I guess. So
okay, let's talk about what we really want to talk about here. Do you think this is any sort of indicator about whether or not there is going to be a direct anytime soon?
No, this almost seems completely separate. This almost seems like there's this weird thing.
Would this ever be in a direct, right? Like, would they?
Right.
It's like this is like they just want to get this off the books and move on with their lives.
Right. Which, hey, that's completely fair. So this is a curiosity, a weird thing. Maybe this will be the Switch's Wii music. Maybe we'll talk about this 15 years ago or 15 years later and laugh.
You know what what they should make is Wario Party game for the Wii.
Mega micro games thing, yeah.
That was a party game for the GameCube. That one's very good as well. You can do that.
Oh, you mean the
smooth moves?
Smooth moves, sorry, yeah.
The one where you pass around the Wiimote and you take turns, and it's like it says your name, and it's like how you're supposed to hold the Wiimote, and you have to rush up in front of the TV in front of everybody. We played that at the Bombathon. It was a ton of fun. Make another one of those. Although I mean, I get like the appeal of have everyone control it with your smartphone, make a Jackbox style game. But Jackbox,
but I have Jackbox. Jackbox is great,
and it's on the Switch. It's everywhere. You can play that. This thing's gonna be forgotten. Are they gonna sell it physically? Are they gonna sell this physically? If they do, this might be one worth.
I mean, this tweet does not show a box.
Okay. They probably are not gonna sell it physically. If they do, though, it might be worth one that's worth picking up, because I bet it's going to be very rare. They're probably not going to print very many. So yes, physical also $30.
You heard that, everybody. Jeff Grubb says, buy everybody 1-2 Switch.
Buy every copy you can. Absolutely. Just nonstop. Okay, well, that's fun. They've often broke news at this time during this show, right? It's not so much during Last of the Nintendogs, it's during this one. So they like Thursday nights for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's like Friday morning in Japan is when they like announce it.
Yeah, is that they're like bring out the bad news time over there or something?
Maybe. All right. So I got a few things I want to talk to you about this week, Mike. Let's start with this one. Is Xbox teasing Fable? That's what I put here. I got a lot of people. There's too much anxiety in the Xbox fandom, and I can't take it. I just want to be like, I was trying to tease Xbox a little bit. I posted the thing of like someone about to step on a rake. Not that they had stepped on a rake yet, just about to. And all I was trying to say is, you have a rake in front of you, you got to walk around it. And that rake being, you put out a tweet with a video that has music that sounds very much like Fable. If it's not Fable music, I don't know. I wouldn't know. I haven't played Fable. And it has glitter, the glitter trail, like what that is, people say is in Fable as well. People believe that this is a tease for Fable. Many people do, at least. Not everybody, but most people do. Then it's okay. Yeah, you could do that as long as Fable's actually in the show. If for any reason it's not, this was a weird thing to have done, right?
Yeah, like, look, Jeff, I believe everything you say about the development problems this game's been having, about it being years away. And yet, when I see that video, that reads 100% as Fable to me. It's the first thing that I think of. That the music's a big one. The glitter. If it's like, it's got to be a Fable reference, and maybe it's like, oh, we're just referencing one of our IP, or I don't know, maybe they're like gonna release some old Fable games. But this is leading me to think, yeah, they're gonna show Fable, and if not, I'm very confused. So yeah, that's where I am. I'm expecting Fable now. Like, that's what you're tweeting here, and if it's not gonna be there, maybe you need to be real explicit about it at this point. I don't know. But I mean, you still don't think it's going to be
No,
Fable?
that's not. I don't know.
I know.
I don't know, but I would be surprised if it was there. That's all. I'd be surprised if it was there because they have had development issues. Every game is having development issues. That's not some weird thing, but they are definitely having development issues on Fable. Like it's a studio that has made one kind of game, trying to make a different kind of game that's challenging, and they are working through those challenges right now. The idea that while they're working through those challenges, they're going to stop and make an asset, especially anything with gameplay for an E3 type show, it doesn't fit with the way things work these days. That doesn't frequently happen. It's like a studio's got to be in a best case scenario to be able to spare enough time to make something like that. So maybe there's a CG trailer, but they already did the CG trailer for it. So are they going to do another CG trailer after we know that like Phil Spencer has said like he's pretty sick of having CG trailers like in meetings at Xbox? He said this. Maybe, but I would be surprised. Now that doesn't mean it won't be there. It could totally be there. I've heard both things as I've tried to like actually look into this. So that's not helpful at all. I don't know. I've heard people like, oh no, it's not going to be there. And people are like, yeah, it's going to be there. So that I have no idea is the actual answer. But I do go back to, okay, the circumstantial evidence of the state of that game, does that lend itself to us getting an actual sort of substantial presence for that new Fable game here? Probably not. But I don't know. So we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, again, like I love you, Jeff, and I believe you. I don't see how this.
I mean, I get it. Yeah, totally. I mean, listen, if it's there, great. That's needs that. That's what needs to happen for Xbox after that tease. Right. I mean, is there any world in which they're just like having fun and someone's like, yeah, well, we are making Fable and
yeah, I mean, Phil Spencer's talked about that himself on that kind of funny thing. Like he hates it when they self-inflict wounds, right? And like maybe it could happen, but man, that would be pretty embarrassing thing to do now. What I think is, hey, maybe it is difficult, maybe it's a mess, maybe it's a pain for a lot of people, but maybe we've known for a while now that there's been these complaints of Microsoft for not seeing enough about their games. Maybe for a while now there was just a mandate. You guys need to have something gameplay-y to show for Fable. We know it's a bit out, whatever. It doesn't have to be long. We got to show people Fable. It's been too long. So I'm still kind of seeing a world where it's there. Yeah, and I hope it's there. I think that would be the best case scenario. I hope it's there. And again, I don't know. I will say if it's not there, people are going to be disappointed specifically because of this tease, and it's frustrating, but also disappointment's never going to really hurt anybody. So be disappointed. Oh well. Yeah, well, it doesn't hurt me and you because we're, mature. You saw some people reacted to being disappointed to that PlayStation showcase. Like, I was like, yeah, it was disappointing. And then, went and played some Zelda and Street Fighter or what have you, right? Like, some people can't handle it, Jeff. Yeah, and well, they're not going to be happy no matter what because they're clearly miserable people. So it's like, what can you do about them? Nothing. I want this show to be good so that this anxiety in the Xbox community can fucking go away just a little bit. I just can't take it right now. It is a lot. It is. Can't say anything. Can't have fun because everything is like, what does this mean? What does that mean? Is this code? Are you trying to tell us something? It's like, guys, please take a goddamn breath. Go play. There are games to play. Maybe they're third party, but you have a nice console to play games on. Xbox Series X is a solid piece of equipment. Go find a video game to play and chill out, please. You're gonna be able to play Diablo 4 and or Street Fighter 6 this week, right? Like you're gonna be fine. You have plenty of choices. Yes, go play a game, and then 10 days ish. You're gonna know. And if it's more disappointment, well, hey, at least it's familiar at this point. We'll see. Yeah, there you go. I like that one guy who tweeted at Eric Greenberg, like, Eric, help! Jeff Grubb says that tell us if Fable will be there. Ooh, yep, that's cute. That is what it is. Oh well. Is that you saying, "Hey, Aaron came out at me with the Hi-Fi Rush thing"? Oh well, now this is what
No,
you
I
get.
mean, he can come at me as much as he
know.
wants, and you know, I've already explained the Hi-Fi Rush thing, so and it's more that was more me like being like, I know the person who was doing the Aaron Greenberg thing. That's Lord Addict over at Iron Lords Gaming or Lords of Gaming, Iron Lords, excuse me. And I like Addict. He's fine. But
I'm sorry that I mocked them with my Conan O'Brien style nerd voice.
I
But
know
also-
I know you're lying. You never have any remorse, Mike, but that's fine. I have no issue with that either.
It's fair.
All right, Yuji Naka might go to prison for 2.5 years. What the hell? I mean, insider trading. The prosecutors are asking for 2.5 years. His lawyers are asking for the sentence to be kind of commuted, basically, to be.
Yeah, the compromise is how about nothing?
Yeah. Well, we respect your position, but how about 0 days in prison?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just a funny thing to say out loud. It's weird. A man going to prison who, like, you primarily have known as the guy that makes Sonic. And now he's gonna go to jail. It's Japan, so he probably will go to jail for a little bit. Maybe not 2.5 years, but he'll probably go for a while. He did make quite a bit of money off those insider trading deals. That is very illegal. But as always with this story, it's just kind of funny. I don't know. Would you, if I tried to plan a trip for when he does get out of prison so we can greet him and like have a big party for him, would you want to come?
If you take me to Disney Sea,
Okay, then we
also
can combine those things. Okay, yeah, for sure.
There you go.
Or we can go
It's
break
funny.
him out of prison. That'd be really funny.
Well, that'd be we should just make that video game. That'll be our video game pitch.
there we
Break
go.
Yuji Naka out of jail.
Oh my god. Okay, we'll do a Patreon like fundraiser, and if we get to a certain
There you
level,
go.
we'll make a really crappy game because we're not going to be one of those people that actually promises anything legitimate. So
No,
yeah.
it'll be terrible.
It'll be real
It'll
bad.
be like a Mario Maker level. I thought it was really funny. I switched over my Genesis calendar day, and look at that. It's Sonic 1 over there.
There
One
it
of my
is.
favorite covers. But yep. There's don't look, kiddo. Daddy's got to go away for a while.
Yeah, and don't visit him. He doesn't want to see you he doesn't want you to see him like that, please.
No, it's rough.
Mike, the Mega Man producer has left Capcom. He also he worked on Street Fighter 6, so clearly he's like, oh, well, the end of a project, basically, it's launched. I can probably, do a kind of quasi semi-retirement. He's been with Capcom since the 90s. He took over from Keiji Inafune. How are you feeling as the Mr. Mega Man? How are you feeling about the future of that franchise? Does this read into any future plans for that game? How are you feeling about it?
I don't really read into much from this. Like you said,
Right.
He's been there a long time. And in some ways, no matter what, if he stayed or if he went, there's going to need to be new people brought in if we're really going to make something newer and bigger with Mega Man. And that's still really my hope, is that, hey, we've got a lot of these bets paid off really well. Maybe we can afford a slightly riskier bet and actually make like a AAA Mega Man game, a 3D action platformer. That's what I'm hoping for. And if you do that, like, who knows who works on that, right?
Exactly. It's almost like a complete rethinking of like what you are doing with Mega Man anyhow, to the point where you would probably want to like bring in some younger talent or something like that, or maybe like some of the junior designers from some of these recent successful games, like bring someone over from Monster Hunter, bring someone over from Street Fighter, bring someone over from Resident Evil.
Right. I mean, there's got to be somebody who is very talented on one of those teams and who's like ready for a leadership position, who also grew up really loving Mega Man. There's got to be a me over there.
Yes, for
right?
real.
So this, and I was always a little kind of annoyed with Inafune being like, we talked about the father of Sonic. Like, Inafune got that title, and he was definitely Mega Man, and he was definitely a big shepherd of it. What did I say?
You said father of Sonic. We just were talking about Yuji Naka, so complete for
my bad.
simple Freudian slip.
Exactly. But, like, there are some people involved with Mega Man, and, it's not like Inafune was the director of Mega Man 1 or something like that, right? But yeah, he did a lot. But obviously, Mega Man was always in a place where it can continue without him. The problem was that once he was gone, there really wasn't much of a champion for Mega Man. And that is the question is, are the champions of Mega Man? They still clearly know Mega Man's important. They still, talk about his anniversaries. They still throw him and all this stuff.
He's selling.
Yeah.
Battle Network,
collection.
1 million copies in what, like a week or 2 weeks or something like that?
I think that is the most important thing that's happened for Mega Man in a while, is that collection of one of their, kind of like lower tier, quote unquote, sub series doing that well. And maybe they'll take that and say, well, let's make a new Mega Man Battle Network then.
Sure.
That's fine too. Whatever. But do something. And I kind of want, I would love a Mega Man 12, Jeff. I'd be excited for it, but I do want something bigger at this point. I want to see an RE Engine Mega Man game. That's what I want.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're in a world where even Nintendo is making 3D Kirby, right?
Yeah.
Try
it.
Yes, I want the big 3D RE Engine Mega Man game. They should also just make Mega Man 12 and Mega Man X9. Is that where we're at?
Correct. Good job, Jeff.
Yeah, sorry, I pulled that one out of my ass. Make those as well for sure. Battle Network.
Yeah, and make Legends 3, and then that's fine. But and I like Legends, but I do want an actual more Ratchet and Clank and less sort of RPG shooter sort of thing that Legends was doing too.
Yep, totally. I asked the audience for Game S Decides, do you think they're going to make a big Mega Man game? And 1 in 5 said yes. That's it. People don't have a lot of faith in this.
Pretty low. Yeah, that's one of the lower. That's one of the bigger splits in one of your polls too.
Yeah,
and it's weird because again, Mega Man is so seminal. It's probably there's always Mega Man merchandise coming out. They're always making that stuff. He's such a iconic video game character.
He's like video gaming prom king, right? He just he just is there among that pantheon of video game characters, and it's he should not be left behind. Although, he's taken on a Mickey Mouse-like role where Mickey Mouse doesn't show up in movies and Mega Man doesn't show up in a lot of games anymore, but he's definitely still completely important to Capcom's history.
Yeah, but again, it's just if ever there's a time where, hey, you can take a little bit of a risk here, try it. Come on.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Agreed. All right, let's see here. Ratchet and Clank is heading to PC. This was bound to happen. Sure. Yeah, sure. I'm ready for it. There was also that news last week, kind of while this was happening, that the Last of Us Factions multiplayer game was getting not rebooted or even reset, but sort of they were peeling a bunch of people off of it so that they could instead go work on the other games that are at Naughty Dog, like the single player game. And that was as a result of Bungie coming in and looking at the game, being like, this doesn't look too hot. And that definitely lines up with what I've heard has happened in the past over there. I can't remember. Did we talk about this last week? Because I think this was something that happened Friday.
Yeah, I don't think we did,
yeah,
Jeff.
I think this was a Friday thing. So, yeah. Okay. So, yeah. How do you think that came about? Do you think that game's ever going to actually happen? The Last of Us Factions multiplayer game.
Here's a question I have for you, which is the best way to respond to a question with a question.
Yeah.
So we also had a new Bloomberg Jason Schreier report about Redfall and how one of the problems there, all these people at a traditionally single player game studio, not very enthusiastic to make a multiplayer live service game, and they even scaled back some of the live service stuff on Redfall, and it still seemed like there just wasn't a lot of enthusiasm. There was a lot of turnover, blah, blah, blah. How excited do you think a lot of those Naughty Dog employees were, all these people who have worked on these pristine AAA super narrative things, to work on a live service multiplayer game?
Yeah, I think that even if they told themselves they were fine with it, I think through their actions, it was probably pretty evident to Bungie and anyone else that was had a chance to look that they weren't really. Because what is being today, being a live service game, what does that mean? That means you have to have you got to launch Street Fighter 6 and have your Chipotle crossover thing ready to go right away. And you got to have...
I made The Last of Us. I could never.
Yeah, well, and that's exactly, I think, the issue is that The Last of Us is this holy thing to them. And it's got to be pristine. And we're going to sell you a million different rags that your character can wear. And you'll be able to go do all the fashion on that side of things. But if you want to have kind of goofy clown fun, this is not the platform for you. And it's then this is not going to work really well as a modern live service game, or at least that's going to be the thinking. I think they were totally fine to make a multiplayer game. Naughty Dog has done that in the past. And I bet it's a pretty good multiplayer mode that you could have put into Last of Us Part 2 as a standalone thing that needs to sell, battle passes. Every 3 months you got to sell a new battle pass. I do not think Naughty Dog was in any position to release a game like that. I don't think that they had any real interest in building their game in that direction, and they were not ready to take the advice that Bungie was giving. And again, this is stuff that I've heard as well. So we'll see. We'll see if that's.
I bet we never see this now. I mean, they said they scaled it back. They've said they scaled it back. I think again, like once production was ramping up on whatever their next project is, Last of Us 3, something new. Bet a lot of those people stuck working on factions. Like, I'm gonna go over there now. Actually, this is taking longer than you said it would. I'm not really that passionate about that. Again, this is some speculation on top of. Maybe it wasn't working out or shipping up anyways because, yeah, they've worked on multiplayer modes before, but making a whole live service system, that is so much more.
Yeah, and it's, I think they end up doing kind of what Blizzard's done a bunch of times. Take what you've worked on, reboot it, and into something else. Take a lot of the stuff, I'm sure a lot of that story stuff that they were going to put into factions can go into Last of Us Part 3 instead or something like that.
Look, like, we don't know what this game is. It's a very high chance it's Last of Us Part 3. You could just kind of go back. Like, you could take this thing that was supposed to be the multiplayer mode for Last of Us 2 and then got spun off to its own thing. Now you can kind of just stitch it back,
put it back
into Last of Us Part 3 where, hey, if it's not the greatest thing in the world, that's okay. It's just the multiplayer mode for The Last of Us Part 3.
I think that multiplayer modes in games that have big single-player campaigns, that like we're sort of past that, and I think that's mostly a good thing. I don't think that was ever a super good idea. I think that the Naughty Dog games were maybe some of the exceptions there because those people really liked those and kept playing them for a long time. But like Metroid Prime 4 does not need to have its multiplayer. That would be insane. I think.
It'd be funny though. What a fun callback to Metroid Prime 2.
It would be really funny, but I think it would be a waste of. Oh, hey, I mean, obviously Halo, Tyrant. Obviously Halo. That's its own thing though.
Yeah, we should have some Metroid Prime 2 death matches sometime together.
Oh, that'd be fun. Let's do Metroid Prime Hunters. Let's destroy our hands with a DS. I would like that. I don't know. Any other stories that we missed from the last week?
Do you want to talk anything else about that Jason Schreier Redfall story? I mean, it's funny.
Sure.
Because someone joked to me on Twitter immediately when it happened. Like, it sounds like we're 3 months away from a Jason Schreier story about this thing, and it took less time than that.
Yep.
Even though it's not like the most scandalous story in the world, really. A lot of it is kind of what you sort of expected, but it's very interesting.
And it's also almost exactly like it elaborates on it, but it's almost exactly what Phil Spencer said when he talked to Kind of Funny, where he's like, we didn't really pay attention to this game, and we didn't give it the attention it needed. And we are doing that with Starfield. Don't worry, everybody. We're doing that with Starfield. And that's like, then you get the story from Schreier, and it's like, basically no one gave this game, like from Bethesda, ZeniMax, Microsoft, everyone was just sort of, okay, you're making that thing. And this came initially from a ZeniMax idea of, we need to have more live service games that can make more money for a longer period of time because we're trying to sell. And so we want to look more attractive to buyers. And it's like, well, I don't think Redfall helped with that at all. But it's like, man, as soon as that deal went through, you should have rethought Redfall. And that's what developers wanted. They wanted to either be canceled or rebooted into a single player game. At least a lot of the developers wanted that. And it's like, man, basically, I think every single one of those points, people were like looking at that game and said those things at some point. Like, just, hey, they probably should have canceled this. They probably should have made this a single player thing again. It's just so evident. And it's like, how did it fall through the cracks? That is the thing that they need to address. Because once Microsoft was in charge, they should have taken ownership of everything and felt like this reflects on them, because it does.
I guess maybe like the one thing that not even contradicts what Phil Spencer said, but Phil Spencer kind of came out like and said, it's a good thing for studios to work outside of their wheelhouses if they want to. And of course that's right. But, this story is making it sound like they didn't really want to leave their wheelhouse, really.
Yep.
So that's a recipe for disaster if you're going to have a studio that is so used to one thing. And one of the big, like, sort of disaster things here is that team made Prey, that new Prey, and it was awesome, and it just did not sell what it should have because the marketing for it was terrible. It's such a good game. I didn't even touch it till years later when it was on Game Pass. I was like, this is awesome. This is clearly like basically a new System Shock. This is great. And they called it Prey for some reason.
That was a Bethesda thing. That was a Bethesda ZeniMax idea.
Right.
Like, we're going to use this IP. And the creators were like, wait, what? Why?
why? But so,
And that move to multiplayer was like, yeah, like someone like it's implied in the story that leadership wanted it, but it's like 3/4 of the team had at some point left that studio because most of the people working on it were not excited about the prospect. That's the big problem. This wraps back around to like to the Fable, where that is the game where it's coming from a racing game studio. They're making a different genre. Once again, going back to that Phil Spencer interview over Kind of Funny, he's like, I'm not going to tell these studios that want to try to branch out into new things that they can't do that, because I think that's something I want to support and encourage. And I think that's fine as long as those studios get all of the support in the world. Because every time I ask a developer about doing something new, whether that is like a studio going from one genre to another or building up a new studio to take on some big ambitious project, the thing that they usually say is it is so hard that the expectations are that the first game is always going to be somewhat of a disappointment. There are exceptions. Fallen Order, I was talking about this on the show this morning.
Well, Fallen Order also
had issues.
Yeah,
definitely had issues, but it's still an exception relative to what happens with a lot of other games. And then it's
remember Assassin's Creed 1?
Yeah, Assassin's Creed 1 is maybe the
Uncharted
example. Uncharted 1 to a certain extent. Yeah, exactly. Like these things are positioned well enough, and you could see the promise, and then it's the next game where everything comes together after they've learned all the hard lessons. That is almost certainly what's happening with Fable. It happened with Redfall. Maybe Redfall would have had a better chance with a sequel. It's never going to get a sequel. Almost certainly not. But the first game, when you're trying something new, is probably going to be pretty rough, and you're going to see a lot of that roughness in the final product. What is the answer to that, though? If you are having Playground make Fable, I think it's got to just be everything that they have questions about. You got to bring in support, bring in help, bring in support studios, give them more time, give them more money, and let them just hire like crazy. Because other than that, I mean, that you have to kind of brute force it. I don't know what else the answer is to it, really. I mean, I guess how did it work at Respawn? They brought in Stig Asmussen and let him build a team completely himself, and it's like, okay, I guess that kind of worked. But I don't know if Playground Games has the ability to do that. So it's probably going to take some time for that game to get in shape, just like it does with all of these projects.
Yeah, it's I sure am excited to see this showcase, Jeff. I just want to see what they've got cooking. There are so many question marks up in the air, and there's also an opportunity here because that PlayStation showcase wasn't great. They could definitely come out looking better for whatever that's worth.
Yep, absolutely. All right, let's see. All right, I think that's going to do it for the big topics. Of course, if you guys want to bring up anything, super chats, we'll get to all of those. In fact, we'll get to those. We'll get those super chats right after a quick break after this. Okay, Mikey, how are you feeling? You good to go?
Yeah, I don't need a potty. We can just go right back into
break.
It. Yep.
Cool.
It's break time.
That's him just marking the break. There you go.
Good.
You know, I could add a stream marker and see if this YouTube add stream marker thing is any better than it used to be. No, it's just a little button there. Okay. Let's bring it back in. Let me see, make sure we're here. Oh, Sean, are you ready to do the game? We'll do that right after the super chats. See if you can get in here. Okay. Let's do it. We're back. Mike, my understanding is we have some super chats. Do you want to read those right now?
We sure do, buddy. From Matt O'Keefe says, "Hey guys, why do you think PlayStation 5 has been seen as firing on all cylinders when they're only releasing 2 first-party games a year?" I mean, the numbers are kind of the big thing there because we could see the charts and numbers, and they are just firing on all cylinders. But also, I think it's not the world's greatest input, but they've been hitting pretty well. And even when it is like a bigger miss, like a Forspoken, that's not first party. It's an exclusive. It's still a little eggy on their face, but that's not the same as a Redfall for them.
Yeah, it's and they are going to get benefits of the doubt because like the things that people want them to deliver on, they know they can deliver on them. So I mean, you say that they're firing on all cylinders, but that has begun to like just be shaken a little bit right after that showcase.
After the showcase, yeah.
Like, people are like, are they firing on all cylinders? So there's some question marks there, I think, for a lot of people, and but a lot of it's relative. You know, Sony put out a handful of really good games last year, some that were Game of the Year contenders, And compared to Microsoft, which put out nothing last year, that looks really good. So, obviously, I think Pentiment was a game of the year contender for me, but everyone knows what I mean. That relativity is really helping Sony.
Epic Open World says, writing this super chat before the show because the demons of Diablo 4 and Lilith are more compelling than two guys in Ohio. Wow. Official Gamers clan in Diablo 4? Oh, yeah, we'll make a clan. I'll let you guys know what the name is for sure. Yeah, that's our early access starts there. Are you going to be playing Diablo 4, Jeff?
I will be playing it tonight, so that I can get ready to do some multiplayer. We're going to try to do some multiplayer tomorrow. We'll see what the servers are like, but we'll try to do it during the day. Maybe it'll be a little bit better.
What class you picking?
I'm probably just going to go with Necromancer to make it, because people seem to have a lot of fun with that, and I heard it's pretty OP, and I think that'll be fun.
Yeah. Plus, you love the undead.
Yes, I love resurrecting the dead and having a good time with them. I was going to say having sex with them, but I don't want to go that far.
Yeah, whoa, gross. And they say, I'm the pervert. Yeah. Space Dovahkiin says, Jeff, tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Hype me.
You're going to have a great time. Please watch.
You're lying?
No, he wants. I don't. Okay. He's going to suck dick. I don't know. What do you want me to say? I have no idea.
Torn Raptor says, on Game S Mornings, you talked about Playground having trouble with Fable as they are a racing team. It's not this team making it. It's the second studio that they hired devs with RPG experience, including devs that were at Lionhead.
Yeah, I mean, sure. But they're using Forza Tech. I mean, they're using, there's a lot of institutional knowledge from making racing games that's not transferring over. I'm just telling you what I'm hearing, man. It's true that they're having development issues. Whether or not that's due to them being a driving game studio, I don't think that really matters in the end. I think any team taking on a new project like this would be encountering pretty tough issues.
Xbox Lord Gamer says, clown face emoji, you said show will suck yesterday. You said it. Clown face emoji, poop emoji. Did you say that?
Yeah, but I was talking about this show, our show. I said Game S decides it's going to suck tomorrow, everybody. Look out. That's what I said. Don't worry. Of course.
Yeah, well,
that's just normal. Yeah.
Well, I mean, thank you, Xbox Killer / Lord Gamer, for paying us money to tell us that. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
L. Grug says, is Jeff always the worst co-op partner, or did Four Swords Adventure kill his family big style? Keep up the good work and new Joy-Con colors. Yeah, what's this about the Joy-Cons? Did they release some kind of late Easter-themed Joy-Con controllers or something?
Oh, I hope so. That'd be very
I've
weird
seen somebody
Nintendo
saying
stuff.
something
They're all
about
pastel Easter egg style colors.
Oh, yeah, they're super Eastery looking.
Why did I just search new Joy-Con girls? No Joy-Con colors.
Can I just say it? I hate pastel colors. I think they're so ugly.
Yeah,
it's
the cozy gaming of colors for sure.
Oh, that must be it. Yeah, I do not like that color scheme. Give me like bright neon's the opposite of that, right? Give me bright neon, not pastel. Don't like it.
I decided I'm into pastels now because of you.
Well, to spite me, I'm sure.
Absolutely. It makes it much better.
Very mature. Nintendo says, is there anything on your summer game mess list that you think won't have any game reveals at all? It's been a problem in the past where I thought something was a game presentation and it wasn't. Like, there's probably some smaller shows. Like, are they doing a future game show like that thing
at 10 a.m. Pacific time? Yes, that is, what day is that? That is Sunday or Saturday. Excuse me, Saturday 10 a.m. Pacific time. You'll have a future games show. Yeah, I mean, I'll go over this whole list. Me and Mike are only going to make predictions for the big ones because, I mean, how can we possibly predict what's going to be a future game show or a PC game show? But I will at least mention those, and so you can have an idea. But Marino V1 on Twitter has a really good calendar that has all the time zones there across the world for all the showcases that have been announced so far. I think all of those ones will have games announcements in it. There will probably be a few that are these weirder things, but yeah, none of the stuff that's in my list is like a conference or something like that. It's not going to be like, oh, here's a panel instead of game announcements.
Burrito says, have Mike read this, please. Mike, Ammunition, Minotti, and Jeff, Energy, Grubb. Mike, congrats on RoboMitch. It honestly didn't look terrible overall. What are you smoking? Oh, it was terrible overall.
It was really bad.
As separate pieces. It was pretty. It was pretty. Dan asked me, like, is that the worst game you've ever been? And I was like, it has to be. I don't like. I played some other bad games that I don't beat. Right, like a Balan Wonderworld or Sonic. I never beat Sonic 06.
RoboCop looked, I think, worse than Balan Wonderworld. It's a race at least. It's competitive, but I think RoboCop's probably worse. Yeah.
Oh, look, it's back. Xbox Lord Gamer said, "See, you just said Fable will suck. You don't.
You say you don't know.
You say you don't know.
I don't know. I didn't say.
Never said Fable will suck.
I did not say.
Now he's lying. Yeah, he never said it was going to be
whole thing.
bad.
Just, honestly, I don't think he's lying. I just think he doesn't have listening comprehension. I don't think he knows what he's actually hearing, which mostly just makes me feel bad for him. But thank you for the money.
AK says it would be way too soon to get a Forza Horizon 6 in 2024. ... Right?
Yeah. I mean, they were on the every other year thing, but I think they maybe was it every 2 years? Maybe it was every 2 years that they were doing.
It felt weird. Maybe every 3 years. I don't know. They were coming out pretty fast.
On the Xbox One generation, they must have been coming out every other year because we got like 3 or 4 in that generation. But I think we probably get it. I think they take an extra year, so like 2025 for Horizon 6.
And then the Uncharted Wolf says, is Diablo 4 good for a new player like me? Oh, yeah. You don't really need to know what happened in the last 4 Diablos or anything.
I bet it's going to be very, because this is the one that has the really good controller support right from the bat, ready to go. It's on consoles day one. All that stuff has been sorted out in previous games, and you're going to be able to hop in and have a good time, especially if you're playing with friends.
Yeah, you'll be fine. That's it for the super chats for now, Jeff. If we get more, everybody, we will read them before the end of the show, I promise. But I'm ready to play a game.
Yeah, let me get this set up real quick. In fact, we'll take one more quick break so we can get this set up. Be right back. All right, everybody. Sean is here. He has got the game going for us. I'm just going to stop that. And
tell me lies. Tell me sweet little lies.
I realized that silence are way better for the breaks than yelling break.
Yeah, that makes sense. You literally said it. Hell yeah, this rules.
Please let me come back so we can do this. Please.
Yeah. I think I'm almost ready. Hang on. Let me see here. No, I need to be like this. Grid.
Yeah, wrong.
Close that.
Yeah, you might need to use the Sheikah
game. Yes, I'm using the Sheikah one. It's coming. And we're back. Mike, did we get another super chat from one of my favorite friends?
We sure did. From Killer of Xbox, a completely and separate, unique person from Xbox Lord Gamer.
It was a different person.
Yeah. Bruh, you said it will suck. Talking about you think Fable will suck, apparently. You literally said it. They said, do they know what literally
no,
means?
Clearly not.
Find a voice clip then for me. Find a voice clip of I'm expressing.
Yeah, no, he said he was gonna screen record it, so go ahead. Yeah. I would
screen record it.
Tag me on Twitter, please. I'll retweet it if I said it.
Yeah, wait, why was it deleted? Oh no.
Sean took care of him.
You gotta pay if you want to.
That's right. That's the rule for them. He tried to send a tweet with that. I think did you block the other one as well because he was trying to.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. They were trying to talk about
that. That's the rule for him.
That's the rule.
Hey,
you want to talk? You pay.
Hey. Yeah, well, just timestamp it then. So if Jeff literally said the words, like you said, Fable is going to suck, I would love to hear it. What are you talking about?
In that timestamp, man.
But pay it, yeah, absolutely.
Sean, I believe we have a closest to the messy pen. This show's now yours.
Mike never finished Sonic 06.
No, I played the demo and it was terrible, and I was like, I'm just not doing it.
Well, yeah, but you're a Sonic fan. It's what we do is
I was very disillusioned at that point because I liked Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 fine, and then Sonic Heroes was the one that broke me. It's the first time I didn't beat a Sonic. Then Shadow the Hedgehog happened, and I cringed so hard. I was not at a position then to see the humor in Shadow the Hedgehog. I was just mad and embarrassed. So I was feeling very down on Sonic at the time.
All right, it's game time, everybody. Everyone's favorite game show within podcast, closest to the messy pin. We got Volume 10 here, a Bop original, presented by yours truly.
Make the instructions faster. I get bored during them.
Oh my God,
Every round
Mikey
you're given
ain't happy.
a retro
Ain't nobody
game.
happy has gone off the rails in the last like 2 weeks.
has.
He's
We-
the power's
we
gone
ta-
to his head.
We talked to the Giant Bomb crew, and now it's just like it's permeating
That was a
throughout the
mistake.
internet.
Yeah.
It was a mistake. Now we're giving them more power.
Yep.
Each round, you will be given the name of a retro game. Your goal is to predict its score on Metacritic.com. We are using a closest to the pin scoring system. Golf pun, golf name, golf rules. You want to have the lowest score at the end of the game. Every point deviated from the actual score, you will gain 1 point. You want to have lower score than your opponent. Gentlemen, let's get right into it. I will say this game was intended to be done last week, so that's maybe a hint for you there. But we had a jam-packed show last week. So. Oh yeah, I think you'll see a theme at a certain point.
Fair enough.
Anyways, let's get right into it. Parappa the Rapper.
That's PlayStation.
On PS1, October 31st, 1997. 15 critic reviews. That's your little hints there. We will be going to... I don't know. Do you guys remember who did last time?
I don't remember who won last time. Jeff, sir, you may go first if you would like.
I think you won last time anyhow. So I
All
think
right,
that's
hold
right.
up. I'll just flip going. Tails, that's Jeff. Jeff, go first.
Okay, Parappa the Rapper. I'm gonna say 87.
87.
Damn it, that's
All right,
good.
decently high. All right.
I think I think this game was like really surprised and was a lot of people were very happy with it. And they're like,
Yeah,
this is
I think a lot-
different.
Okay.
Yeah, I think a lot of people even overlook some of the smaller faults with it being short because it
Yes.
really did stand out.
Exactly.
Like rhythm games were not much of a thing yet, even at this point. So man, 87 is good. I'm gonna brush up against it. I'm just trying to figure out what side. I'll brush up 88. Actually, I'll go even higher. I think Jeff's reasoning is exactly correct here.
Interesting. Yeah, it is a small-ish pool of reviews to work from there. So maybe it was just the people who wanted to review it. Well, Parappa the Rapper is currently sitting at 92.
Whoa! Holy
Even
higher.
really like that
Wow,
one.
that's
Dang.
impressive for that game. That's
Wow.
very good.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I've played Parappa.
liked
Like
it.
it's solid, but 90
game.
as well. That's a little
I
surprising.
mean, it was just
Again-
it was the style, and there was nothing else really like it.
It was
before.
so new at the time.
Nothing else, yeah, nothing else quite like
No.
that. Okay. All right. Well, game number 2, SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs for the PlayStation 2. Release date August 27th, 2002, based on 42 correct reviews. God dang, Mike. What are you thinking?
Like 85.
85? All right.
I never got it with these games.
I'm gonna
when you,
go ahead. Keep talking.
I was
Mike.
like, when you had to make like a game of this size on a PlayStation 2, boy, did it have to get pretty ugly.
I'm gonna go 82.
82. Okay.
I like it.
Yeah, I think I bet it's like the appeal of the microphone and all that stuff didn't work during the review period.
These games are awesome, yeah, because this, 2002, like it was online shooters before the Call of Duty era. So
Right,
it
yes.
was,
And
there's
I-
a novelty to it
Yeah,
at the
and
very least.
I just wonder if that was really working for the people who were reviewing it.
Okay. Well, SOCOM is sitting at an 82.
Let's fucking go!
Jeff gets it exactly correct, which means
go!
he has 5 points reduced from his score. He is at
worst has
clean,
happened.
even
Yeah, I'm
zero.
gonna do the when Mikey wins Jeopardy does like the slow stretches. There we go. Yeah.
Wow.
All right,
That's
yeah, are you gonna
obnoxious.
pretend that
You're a
you
bully.
don't know you're gonna win? Yeah.
What was that, Sean?
Are you gonna pretend that you don't know you're gonna win and everything like that?
Oh yeah, totally. Yes,
Put on
absolutely.
the terrible poker face. Okay. Game number 3, Daxter for the PlayStation Portable. Release
Forget
date
about this
March 15th, 2006. 50 freaking 9 critic reviews.
What
That's
the
more than I
hell?
would have thought for
Jesus.
this game, but
Like
all
Chris
right,
59.
Jeff.
Good, Jeff.
I'm thinking. Okay. Daxter, PSP. I am going to go with an 80 flat. 80 flat.
Okay.
I really wanted to say like 79. And that was my heart told me, so I guess I should still say that. it got some leeway for being a PSP game, but so it's hard to say. I also want to play this game. What's weird is that they were also just an actual Jack and Dexter for PSP. Once again, not made by Naughty Dog, but like Jack and Dexter something. It's weird.
Oh, that was the PS2 game.
No,
That also got a PSP version. No.
I think it was a PSP game that then got a PlayStation 2 port. Actually,
Oh, it was the other way around. Okay. Yeah, it was like the flying one or whatever. I don't remember its name.
Benji Bob says that Mike should be down to 7, so help him out there.
All right, sure. I trust Benji Bob.
Yeah, me too. And he said 79 in case you missed it, Sean.
79. Oh, yeah, he was waffling. I didn't know if he was locking it in. Got it.
I'm locked in, baby.
All right. There's a point differential there. I thought you might want to think it over a bit.
No.
But Daxter for the PSP has an 85.
Jeez.
Wow. Okay.
Early PSP generosity, maybe. I don't know.
I haven't played this game. Have you? I mean,
Maybe it's good, actually.
Yeah, maybe it's
maybe I
good.
kind of want to play it now.
Yeah, me
actually,
too.
yeah.
Just makes definitely. There's a lot of PSP games I want to play. Is this
Who
one?
actually made Daxter? Was this Bend or somebody like them? Because it wasn't Naughty Dog.
Ben did so many.
That
PSP
sounds
games,
right.
so-
That sounds right, yeah.
Oh.
All right. I remember
Ready at
Size
Dawn.
Ready at Dawn,
Matters
it's
was
also
pretty
one.
solid.
Okay.
So.
What's Ready at Dawn working on now?
It's a good question. I'll find out.
All right. Well, while you do that, I'll introduce game number 4, Little Big Planet, the first one, released on the PlayStation 3, October 27, 2008. 85 critic reviews. Granted, we're starting into the area of online reviews, so the number makes a little more sense. Mikey is your pick first.
Ready at Dawn, by the way, is with Oculus now. They're the ones who make Lone Echo.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. God, Little Big Planet 1 must have got a pretty big bump for just the concept being so cool to people at the time. I know issues, but I bet people were very generous and very fascinated by it. I want to say an 89 for Little Big Planet 1.
89. All right. Keeping the scores high tonight.
I want to say that it didn't get quite as much like I don't think it got quite as much kids gloves. I think it got some, but so I'm gonna go with an 85. I want to say 86, but I'm gonna go with 85, please.
By the way, isn't it,
85?
man?
Okay.
Me and Jeff Rousseau checked out a VR. They announced the Meta Quest 3 today. Neither of us even remembered to talk about it.
Yeah, and I didn't even put it in Game Mess Morning today. Well, I think it got announced after Game Mess Mornings, or like during it or something. But I'm
But hey,
like,
they announced it.
Yep,
They announced
cool.
it. It's more
There it
expensive
is.
than ever. Wonderful. All right. Little Big Planet 1 has a 95.
Holy
I
shit.
told you.
Out of
I should have even gone even.
5 reviews. Holy cow.
Yeah, people
Man.
were really impressed, man.
guess
Dang,
so.
I should have gone even
Holy
higher.
shit, that's insane.
helps me, though.
actually. That's crazy.
That's impressive when you have a lot of reviews under your belt.
I guess
Wow.
it was so impressive, like what you could do in the game. I guess.
Yeah.
All right. But
Yeah,
it didn't
sometimes
matter that the
it's like-
platforming was like really bad, actually.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, imagine Mario Maker came out on the Wii, I guess, is sort of what's going
Yeah,
on
totally.
Yeah, but like, how much fun would you have with Little Big Planet 1 today?
Mm.
there. Yeah, not so much. All right, well, the final game for the evening. Sly Cooper Thieves in Time for the PlayStation Vita.
Oh, come
Just
on.
barely a retro game. February 5th, 2013. 15 critic reviews. Jeff is your turn
75.
first. 75. Ooh, going a little bit lower. Still a good score, but a little lower. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this was that weird fourth one they made, and it wasn't even made for Vita. It just also came out for Vita.
Mhm.
Man, 75 is good. So if I get exactly on there, I can win.
Yes,
and I think
you'll
that
definitely
might
win
be
to get it
better.
exactly on there. Yeah.
I think that might be better than trying to like get 5 points away from yours or something like that, because I don't think it's that much lower than or higher than a 75, which is a good pick for you. So I'm going to say 77.
77. Okay.
It was
You can do
primarily built for
both.
Vita. Interesting. Okay.
Okay. Sly Cooper. Thieves in Time.
Mike wins if it's a 77.
75.
Wow.
Jeff got it exactly correct.
Right. It was such a good pick. I knew as soon as he picked it, I was
It's
screwed.
one. It's like it can't be that bad, but also I've never heard anyone talk about it since, so it can't be that good. And that's the 75 number. Like that's such like where that game must be if both those things are true.
Are you seeing what's happening?
Yeah.
Down there.
So for audio
Trust the
listeners,
Bob,
there's a
always,
gif of Jim Ryan do his fun dance. So that was a
He's doing the
PlayStation
Tom
quiz.
Cruise thing from Tropic Thunder.
Yes.
Always got the good production value there. Well, that means the score is at the end of the evening. Mike has 21. Jeff has 10. Jeff is your winner.
Thank you
tonight.
very much. Thank you very much.
Got 2 on the nose this time. Damn, Jeff.
Yeah, I was good. I felt good about that. Thank you very much. Sean, thank you for your help. Benji Bop, as
course.
always. Thank you so much for putting these together. All right. Let's get into the big decisions for the week, which is going to be our prediction episode for Summer Game Fest. I'll fix the thing right now. I'm gonna bring that over here. Mike,
Yo.
we got a couple of things that are the handful of shows that are probably gonna have pretty decent surprises in them for the most part. Really 2 that are like really primed, and then maybe Ubisoft will have something. But let's start with Summer Game Fest. Before that, there's going to be Guerrilla Collective, people that will have announcements. But the first real big one, Summer Game Fest, Thursday like midday, noon Pacific time, which is pretty weird actually. Like it's happening in the middle of the day, but fair enough. It's happening in the middle of the day, noon Pacific time, Summer Game Fest. Jeff Keighley in LA. He'll have people in the audience watching. He downplayed it when he was on Lucy's podcast, Friends Per Second, last week a little bit, where he's like trying to downplay expectations. Where are your expectations at? And then we'll get into like specific guessing about like what might actually be there.
Yeah, my expectations are honestly kind of low. The last Summer Game Fest did not have very many really big, interesting games, right? God, it feels like there's so many games we probably heard from that we still haven't even seen. There's like 3 sci-fi horror games that we need updates on, I guess. I don't know. There will be a couple neat things. Maybe Hideo Kojima shows up with something. He always shows up with something. Now, is it going to be Death Stranding 2? Maybe, probably. Maybe he'll have something. So that's whatever. But expectations are low for me on this one, Jeff. I hope he gets The Rock back. I hope The Rock tells me to enjoy my gaming again. There's my biggest dream.
Yeah, I was gonna say like what. So what is your lock? Your lock for this show, if you have one, or if it's something that you're like pretty certain will be there, and maybe it doesn't have to be a game. Maybe it can just be like a celebrity is going to introduce something or something like that.
Yeah, celebrity is definitely right.
Oh, actually, let's start here. Do you think he'll make a joke about that kid showing up at the Game Awards?
No, I think he's very upset about that.
He will either. I think you're absolutely right. He will not do that. Okay, so then, yeah, do you have like one that you think is very likely for this show?
Not really. I mean, I think his best case scenario is if we saw the Elden Ring DLC here.
Yeah.
That would be, I think that's a big get that maybe Jeff Keighley could get for this, is the Elden Ring DLC. Because I don't really think that's going to show up at Microsoft.
I think that's,
it did show up at Sony.
Likely. I think that's reasonably likely.
Yeah.
For me, it is
gameplay
Death
reveal
Stranding
for
2.
Armored Core. Also,
Armored Core is coming out relatively soon. We had that one, we had the cinematic trailer, then we had the kind of like the introductory, kind of still cinematic, but some gameplay trailer. I think now like an all-out like gameplay reveal for the game could go down really well here. I don't know. We'll see if that shows up at this at the showcase.
I bet he gets Pedro. I bet he gets Pedro Pascal.
Oh, I could see that. Pedro Pascal, like the actors from Last of Us, come out to introduce something. Totally.
Yeah. So something, whatever was a big hit recently. I don't know. And we know where they're going to have Mortal Kombat 1 gameplay, so I'm excited to see that.
Me too.
I just want to see what, like the CG trailer is fine, but I want to see what that game is going to look like. I want to learn about some more characters coming to that, stuff like that. So Mortal Kombat 1 is something I'm excited to see.
Shoji Kodo in chat says Skillup asked him about that kid during the Friends Per Second podcast, and he looked pretty pissed.
Oh, I bet. He's not happy about it. He's not ready to laugh about that yet.
No. Yeah, so yeah, my luck is Death Stranding 2. Do you have like a far-fetched thing that you think could show up at this kind of showcase?
I don't man, what would it even be?
It's really tough to nail down. This is why I think the Keighley shows are so tough to be like actual pleasurable watches, because there is no defined boundaries of what could possibly be there. So when we start to speculate, anything is on the table, and then you can get really wild, and it's like actually the reality is almost way tamer than that, except for the year when he actually did have Elden Ring. And now is he going to have Elden Ring or an equivalent every year? No, like every year there's not a game like that available. So.
And even then, like the bigger things seem like they're possible more so at a Game Awards than a Summer Game Fest. Now, this is like the first, like this Summer Game Fest maybe has a chance because maybe there are more people who are revving up straight up for E3, and that's not happening, right? So we already saw a little bit of Konami at the Sony thing. Maybe we see a little bit more Konami here. Maybe
But
like that. Maybe
I
that
don't
is a
think
Castlevania something, but I don't think so.
so. The problem there is like with the Metal Gear Solid Delta thing. One of the people that's been out there loudest about who's making this, who's actually responsible for this game has been Jeff Keighley.
You're right.
I think that the bad blood between Konami and Hideo Kojima extends to Keighley, and I don't think Konami will be at a show like this maybe ever again.
What do you think about Delta supposedly just using like the audio files from Metal Gear Solid 3?
My thoughts are exactly your thoughts because you're the one that made me realize this. That means they are limited in their scope of what they can actually do when they go to edit that game and make it like a Resident Evil 2 remake where they can completely redo everything because they're going to have a new voice cast in there doing lines. And if they need new lines, they have the capacity to do that. They're not going to have those options here. So they're going to be sort of limited in what they can actually do. And that's probably mostly fine, but I think it's indicative that I'm not going to get my hopes as high for that game as I would get for a Capcom remake. It's kind of where I'm at with that.
Some people in chat are saying maybe something Sonic. Maybe something Sonic, Jeff.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Okay. I don't know. And then, I mean, how do you think when we come out of the show, how do you think people are going to be feeling? Do you think people are going to be satisfied with it? Because I bet this is going to be one that even with expectations maybe a little bit lowered, I think people are going to be feeling pretty antsy, especially if they have a PlayStation showcase. And if their game doesn't show up, and it's very unlikely that it will, most people I think are going to be like, oh, that was boring.
When does Xbox happen? Before or after this? Isn't it after?
So this is Thursday. Xbox happens on Sunday.
I think there might be an immediate reaction, Jeff. I think people are going to forget. I think vast majority of people are looking past this at Xbox. And, last time people were disappointed in the show, but there were expectations last time. We all kind of got out of control with that. I think expectations are low, and he's already working to lower them. I think they'll be fine this time. I think it'll be okay. I don't think there's going to be like any sort of noticeable super negative sentiment. Like there'll be a sentiment of it wasn't maybe amazing, and hey, that's great, low expectations, because now you can come out and surprise us all, and it can be really cool. Maybe maybe I'll be in a better position now to see two stupid cozy games and some generic looking shooter in space and be like, well, I could be generous with that. It looks pretty neat, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna look at like the things that were announced last year and see if like there's anything that like we might get updates on. Summer Game Fest 2022.
It's like, man, what was there? Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders already got that's a different thing now.
Right, it's a different. They're making it a different game than they were making before. Yeah.
So Protocol was like always at these things, and it was like, but it's weird because even things that are positioned like these big deals, like Calypso Protocol, was at a lot of Keighley stuff, like this big deal. Was that last year? Like the guy in charge of it kind of verbally sucked Keighley's dick for a while.
That was the Game Awards, but basically, yes, was. Yes, he did do that.
I hated that.
I was not a big fan.
But even if I think it's positioned as a big deal, we're all kind of like, same thing with Redfall. It's like, okay, we'll see. I guess who knows?
Do you think they just at last year's show they didn't announce Spider-Man Remastered for PC. It's like they could have saved Ratchet and Clank for the Summer Game Fest, like giving Keighley something, but. I
think the people who think that Sony held off on something to give to Keighley are delusional.
Yeah, I think so too, but people do believe that. The big reason for that is that Sony and Microsoft are listed as on that big thing of participating in Summer Game Fest. I just think that they are.
That can mean a million things.
Right, it can mean a million things. Exactly. They might have a commercial for their earbuds there. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, right.
Let's see. Bloober Team, Silent Hill. Yeah, well, Bloober Team reveals its new horror game, but it's not Silent Hill Tales. So that's not Konami. Last year they had a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 reveal takes. So they could have Call of Duty at this show. That could happen.
I guess they could have Call of Duty. Microsoft's probably not going to. I mean, that'd be really cheeky if they revealed it at their thing. But yeah, maybe Keighley is kind of the Switzerland here where you can reveal Call of Duty. Now, if you're not just going to do your own thing for Call of Duty, which they absolutely can and would almost maybe make more sense now. But yeah, maybe this is where we finally get a big coming out for Call of Duty. Finally, a game deserves its flowers, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Callisto Protocol, that you mentioned that one. classic PC franchise Flashback got announced. Yeah,
yeah.
it's going to be stuff that's going to be really hard to predict. That's what Summer Game Fest is. Absolutely. I'm trying to see if there's anything else worth mentioning. Or Goat Simulator 3, Midnight Suns, Neon White, Honkai, Star Rail, things like
there'll
that.
be things like that. Like I forgot these things were there. Like a Goat Simulator 3, that's kind of nice. Wasn't Dead Island 2 coming back at something? No, that was the Goat Simulator show that looked like Dead Island, right?
Saints Row was there though, so like THQ Nordic stuff, Embracer stuff could easily be at this kind of thing.
Right. And it doesn't, THQ Nordic's not quite dead yet. They might be prepping for another big swing here, and we'll see what that is, I guess.
Sony did announce, I guess, their Last of Us remake at Summer Game Fest last year, but they didn't have a showcase.
But they didn't have a show.
They didn't have a showcase
last year.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So then we go from that, and then there is the Devolver Direct is happening on Thursday later that day. The Wholesome Direct, which Mike is he's so excited about. Cannot wait.
I can't wait to finally play some game where I pet a cat, and then I pet a goat, and then I pet. But it'll be boring, but it'll be
cozy
in pastel colors. It'll be cozy.
That's happening Saturday morning. Let's see what else is happening Saturday morning. That's the Future Games Show. That is Future Publishing is actually who puts that on, which is why it's called Future Games Show.
Is that the one Cloud9 hosts with that computer?
That is PC Gaming Show, which is also from Future, but that's going to happen on Sunday.
I always thought those little interstitials were kind of funny on that one. I liked that.
Oh,
host spot or something.
Cloud9, is that right? That's not his name, is it? No, Cloud9's the name of the developer.
Day9.
Day9. There it is. Day9. Yes.
I know one time I got to reveal a Hearthstone card because he was going Day9. Thank you. Sorry. I got to reveal a Hearthstone card because he was going to and he had to back out. So thank you, Day9.
Day9 is a very charming, likable person, and that's why I like
he's funny.
PC Gaming Show. And the people that work on the PC Gaming Show, I know, work very hard on it. It's very cool.
Cloud9's an esports team. My mistake.
That's what Cloud9's an esports team. That's what it is. Xbox and Starfield, 10 a.m. Pacific time on Sunday. They are, I think they said about an hour and a half, and then the Starfield Direct will happen after all that stuff. I think expectations for this are high, and they should be.
They kind of have to be. And man, I hope they can deliver, because just like you, the anxiety is out of control. The vibes are out of control.
Yeah, the vibes are bad.
And I'm like, look, I'm somebody who, if Xbox is like mediocre and bad for a few years, I can deal with it. But some people they're freaking out, and maybe we'll see something here that's going to make us feel good about Xbox for a while. Again, because I know these shows take a while to get happening, but even before Redfall, we knew that Microsoft was kind of shaky. That whole last year was not good. They had to have been thinking about that the whole time they've been planning the show. But there are just realities of what's ready. What can we actually show? Can we get these studios to really make assets? Because we don't want just CG trailers, because who cares? There's a lot of questions.
Yep, these are all problems and things that they've addressed or acknowledged in the past, but haven't actually addressed to their fullest. I think that last year's show was pretty lackluster because that self-imposed 12-month thing, I think that self-imposed 12-month thing was not like some grand idea. I think it was them working with what they had and being like, we can't force all these other studios that aren't ready to make something for this show. So what do we have? Well, these are the games that we think are coming out in the next 12 months. Either way,
I think we've all learned a lesson about that.
Yes,
about
but they can never do that again.
No.
The year before that, I thought was a pretty good show. And the biggest issues with that show 2 years ago, whenever it was,
the Contraband one,
like that, and that's a very good trailer to bring up because that was the big issue. Too many CGI trailers, but there was still like a pace. There was exciting new stuff, even if it's like we still don't really know what to expect from a lot of those things. This is the show where it all has to actually come together. It has to be gameplay trailers. It has to be updates on all those games. If you have new stuff, that's great, but go easy on the CG stuff. If that's how you need to announce something new. Well, it better be kind of inherently exciting.
Right. There better be like Banjo-Kazooie 4 or something like that.
Yeah, like known quantities is kind of what I'm expecting if you're going to be coming out at us with CGI trailers at a certain point. Someone in chat mentions, Gamefire, that it's actually 2 hours, and we don't know how long the Starfield thing was going to be. They're asking 2 hours of our time to come and advertise games at us. I'm in my opinion, if you were going to do that long, then most of the games that we know about have to be there. I do think that we get, I think we probably get Avowed. I think we probably get Hellblade. And
we better get something substantial for Hellblade.
Right. I think Hellblade's a sure thing that we get it. Yes.
It's a sure thing, but like, I don't want to see another snippet of Hellblade. I want to see like a good section of gameplay, and I want it to be like gameplay-ass gameplay. I want to see the UI.
Yes, I want to know what I'm doing. Yes.
I want to know what this game is. I want to know like how much more this is than that original game. What's the structure here? Is this more like an open world game? Are you doing something more, kind of Last of Us, mostly linear, narrative driven? What is this game going to be?
Yeah. So for me, I mean, Hellblade's the obvious one. If I were to go for a lock beyond that, I think Avowed is likely going to be there, even though that's Obsidian and they're very busy and they got a million things they could show off. Outer Worlds 2 being among them. I think Avowed is probably actually going to have a pretty substantial showcase here.
I mean, that seems like the one that is the most primed to be happening soonish, and I think it's the one a lot of people are excited about. I want Avowed to be good. I think that when Obsidian just made their Fallout first with New Vegas and then kind of again with Outer Worlds, it's been great. So I think that if they just make their Elder Scrolls, that could be really good. I really want to be excited for Avowed. That's one that I'm really hopeful for.
My other lock is that they bring an expensive sports car out of the stage and present it. I think they're going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to show Forza, of course.
Yeah,
we're going to see that, and we'll see what that does look like. And it's going to look really nice. I bet. I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of fun playing Forza.
What is your like sure thing, or one thing, the one that you're pretty confident will be there?
Oh boy, should I say it? It's been a whole year, Jeff.
Yeah.
Give me that silk song.
Yeah.
Give me that silky, silky, silky song.
I mean, it's time to give us an update on it. Like, we haven't really heard about this game in any real way since last year's show, right?
And before that, it was like, where has this been for years? Right?
Right. And it's like they gave us the update. Hey, it's not coming out before June. Obviously, we knew that. But they do have to give us an update. So I think you're right. It would be weird if it wasn't there. It would be weird. It would be kind of like really, I would feel like bad news for that game. Okay, then do you have like a hope? Because I have a hope that if it's there, will make this show good for me. And it's Wolfenstein, the end of the trilogy. If I don't think it's going to happen, but if it does, I will be over the moon. I will be so excited, especially if it's like 2024 and early 2024. I just want it so bad. That would really do it for me. I think it's much more likely that Machine Games shows off Indiana Jones and only Indiana Jones. And if they have something else, it's probably actually Quake related because they've been working and helping out on Quake for years. And in my heart of hearts, or maybe in my brain, actually, I don't think they're actually actively working on a Wolfenstein, but I hope they are.
I'll be very happy for Wolfenstein, but you sing Quake, I'm going to pop if there's a new Quake.
For Quake. Machine Games too, I think they would be very good at it.
Yeah, I'd be very excited. I want to see something from Machine Games. I hope that Indiana Jones game is very good, especially since somehow that movie apparently won't be. That's make me out.
I don't even want to think about it.
Rotten Tomato scores never just bummed me out more for some reason.
I was so ready for a James Mangold Indiana Jones game to just all that.
They messed up.
What I want.
They're gonna do good now.
Yeah. Nope. Somehow still no.
We'll see. We haven't seen it. Maybe it's gonna be good. I would really like to see Double Fine's next project and see it even because like Psychonauts 2 was their most sort of polished, impressive, large scale thing they'd done since Brutal Legend, and probably even more so than that. And now that this one was whatever this next project is presumably like started at Microsoft, even I'm really excited to see that. It might even still be a little too early for that, but maybe we're gonna get at least a snip of it. That sounds gross. And a little look at what that could be. I'm excited for that.
Do we get? Okay, let's go down like list of some of the things we do know about, like Everwild. Do you think we get an update on that?
No,
I don't think so either. Let's see. Tango Gameworks just put out Hi-Fi Rush. Do you think they had another project that they were working on that we might hear about?
I mean, what would that be? Evil Within 3
Maybe.
would probably be, or
but I mean, that'd be pretty strange because like the director of that game was working on Hi-Fi Rush instead. So
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it'd be kind of neat if there's like another weird kind of surprise thing from them, but I don't know. Probably not.
we'll almost certainly get some update on Elder Scrolls Online. I bet. Undead
Well, sure.
Labs, A State of Decay 3 is one they've been working on for a long time. There was a
Sure.
lot of the leadership left there. We probably still get an update on that, though. I think probably.
Hey, Jeff. You know this Street Fighter thing's going pretty strong, right?
I heard about that. Yeah, seems like it's
Yeah.
going all right.
Fighting games, big
Yeah.
deal. Do you think there's any chance they make a new Killer Instinct?
Yeah, I
What's
know
going on?
they wanted to make a new Killer Instinct for years now. They tried to get Iron Galaxy to do it. Iron Galaxy was busy working on Rumbleverse. Now Iron Galaxy is maybe available, but maybe they've been available for a while and they've actually been working on it, and that's one of the reasons that they moved away from Rumbleverse, maybe. Or maybe they found another studio to do it. But they've wanted to do a Killer Instinct. They've been pushing toward it, so it could get announced here. I could see that happening.
Yeah, be careful. We're saying okay because they're freaks. We have two of them as their mods that would freak out if they announced a new Killer Instinct. People really liked that reboot more so than like in a way that if that reboot just came out as a full featured game even today, I think it would have been a big hit. And I kind of hope that the whole seasonal thing was cool, but just do whatever Street Fighter 6 is doing and do that for Killer Instinct. I think you'll have something pretty big there.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's happening. I just know that they wanted to work on it, or they wanted to make it happen, and there was no one available for years to actually come and work on it. There was just no development team that existed. So no idea if Iron Galaxy is working on that or not. We'll see. Maybe that could get announced. Who knows? Let's see. Who else?
What's In Exile up to?
Yeah, In Exile is one that almost certainly has something new. I think people want for them to do a like classic style Fallout game. I think that would be a good use of their time, but I also think it's like the studio that's probably should be ready to also make a bigger AAA game as well.
Yeah, I mean they kind of like they've been sort of building up to it. They did Wasteland 3, right? And people liked it, but maybe it is time, to do something. Pull the camera in a little closer, something like that, I guess, huh?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, listen, but people really like Wasteland 3, and that was the last thing they did, I believe. So we'll see. Maybe they do a Wasteland 4, and it is one like you said.
It's just that.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect Dark.
Perfect Dark.
What's up with Perfect Dark, Jeff?
I think it would be really rough if they got through the show and there was no update on Perfect Dark, right? Because how long ago was that game announced now? 3 years ago?
Quadruple A game. And we know that Crystal Dynamics been helping on it, right? So like we know they've been what have you been hearing? Have you been hearing as much about that one as you have been hearing about Fable?
No. But I think that's what that means is that the co-development strategy has probably mostly worked out and it's probably humming along. I have no idea if it's close to coming out or anything like that. It could easily be a game that comes out next year. Could easily be a game that still comes out 2 years from now. It really could be anything.
Now,
yeah.
Here's my problem in general with our expectations, and we did this with PlayStation. We go through all the possibilities, very cool, exciting first-party thing that can happen, and then we got to the show, and it's a lot of third-party stuff.
There will be a lot of third-party stuff here, probably, right? I mean, 2-hour show.
Yeah, we're probably going to see a little bit Mortal Kombat. We might even see more Assassin's Creed and like stuff like that. Like
yeah,
these
I mean, like EA is like really close with Xbox. Like what EA games could pop in there? They probably don't stop to do anything for sports, but trying to think if there's like a
EA... a 2-hour show. Maybe you do. Maybe you do have a little Madden segment. Actually, I don't know.
Yeah. But you're yeah. Third parties will definitely probably have a presence there.
I mean, what if EA came with like Dragon Age, right? And we didn't even think about that for Keely's thing.
Dragon Age is because Dragon Age is not going to show up this summer. I don't think anywhere because it's that was a game that was going to be this fall at the earliest. That's definitely changed now. It is now summer 2024 is when they're targeting, and they don't want to show it off until later. So probably maybe the Game Awards.
What about Skate?
Oh, Skate would be one that could easily show up here. Yeah, that's a good poll. I would like that.
I got it from chat. That was actually
good job. Good job, chat and Mike. Okay, then the Coalition, Gears of War. Do we get a Gears of War 6?
I could pretty easily see a world, Jeff, where their one last thing here is Gears of War 6.
Sure. I think because that's the kind of thing where if you do it as one last thing and it's just a title card or a small CG trailer, like
that's fine. People know what Gears is. If you do, I mean, it's a little rough because we talk about the diminishing returns on sequels, and you have to wonder.
Gears Wars.
I had that. People liked Gears 5 a lot, apparently, and I just kind of
but there's still diminishing returns on the excitement for it. Absolutely,
Is like okay.
So people like Gears 5, but they were not playing the multiplayer like they used to play the Gears of War multiplayers. That stuff has waned.
Yeah, so it might be a little rough as your one last thing. I don't know. It's a big game. Hey, I mean, after Halo, it is one of their more long-lived franchises at this point, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure. Let's see. Compulsion Games. They did We Happy Few. They are probably due to show something. No idea what it could be. Yeah.
Who knows?
And then, Mike, I think the other one, the big elephant in the room. What are they going to do with Halo at this show, if anything?
Yeah, I bet we don't hear much about Halo Infinite, but maybe we're going to see that Battle Royale thingy, Jeff. I mean, you probably know more than what I do.
I don't know
what
anything.
Do you know?
I think the last time I talked about this, someone might have mentioned to me that like, it's probably not ready to be shown yet, but it could happen like later this year. And so okay. I mean, I wonder if everyone looks to Apex Legends, where it's like that game just was a battle royale, came out of nowhere, and then they rode that to like 50 million players in a couple of weeks, and it's like that. Maybe that's how you do a battle royale. Yeah, but
what really helped there was that it was good. You know?
Well, sure, yes, absolutely, and it's from Respawn, so people were ready for a Respawn thing. Yeah, I could go either way with this. I think you're right that Halo Infinite probably doesn't get a lot of time here, but they probably do mention Halo in some capacity, I think. Sea of Thieves almost certainly gets an update, right? Like
it'll have whatever its next thing is.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls Online, Sea of Thieves. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, those kind of perennials, always theirs. Sure.
Yeah, Microsoft Flight Simulator, same thing.
Yeah. What about that Kojima Cloud game? Too early to hear anything substantial about that?
I think it's probably too early. When that was announced last year at the showcase, right?
Right. It seems like longer ago because you've been reporting on it for a while. But
yes.
Yeah, I think it was just announced last year. We didn't really talk. We talked about how Contraband was shown off a couple years ago. Do we actually see some more of that?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I hope.
Who's making that
really
again?
Hope so. That is Avalanche. One of the Avalanches, maybe, right?
The Just Cause people, right?
Just Cause people. Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Okay.
And yes, they they had early development issues, just again like everything does, but they're mostly past those, I think. So it would be the time to show off gameplay is now for that game, and I hope they do. I hope they stick with the Steely Dan though. I hope they do another Steely Dan trailer.
Sure.
Okay, Mike. I think that mostly covers Xbox. Any other like stray thoughts you have about that showcase?
What's your, one super pie in the sky thing? Bring back Crimson Skies for me. Not going to happen. I sure would be happy, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think my pie in the sky continues to be Banjo-Kazooie, I think. Yeah. I don't think that's super likely. But I think that would be a very exciting pop for that show if they had Banjo-Kazooie.
People freaked out when Banjo-Kazooie showed up in Smash Brothers, man. If you actually had a new Banjo-Kazooie and you kind of just made it this modern, really cool Mario style 3D platformer again, and you have some talented teams, there must be somebody who can do that.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. That'd be amazing.
Yep, I hope it happens.
But maybe more realistically, I'd like if they brought back the backward compatibility program and the frame boost program and stuff like that. Stuff that got them a lot of goodwill when they weren't having a whole lot of releases, and then they ended them.
Chris has got to go on 1 versus 100. I bet that's dead. It was in the works, everybody, but that team that was working on it has mostly been disbanded because I think the person that was in charge, I'm going to say allegedly, even though I'm not exactly sure if this is exactly what was alleged, he was a shithead and he left the company, and that team seemed to just fall apart after that. And that was where there was the Alt Space VR team, and that was where they were making 1 versus 100. Xbox was aware of it and was behind it, was very much supporting it. So maybe they were able to transfer some of the key people over and keep it going. I have no idea. I really hope so, because I told people that was going to happen, and it might not now because of all that stuff. So we'll see. Okay. And again, that's a good Pie in the
here's a
Sky one
question.
because that would be a cool thing if they were like, and you could play the first episode tonight. I think that would be such a cool move. We could play that.
Can we do our own 1 versus 100? How hard would that be?
I don't know. We could look into it because it would have to be like a big event, but I bet we could pull something like that off.
Grand Theft Auto 6, Chef, is that going to show up anywhere during the week?
I want to say yes, but probably not. Everyone's right when they say Rockstar's like would just do it on their own.
They can just do it whenever.
They could do it whenever. Absolutely. Yeah. It's kind of thing where it's like they announced that with a trailer and a big interview in like Playboy magazine. At least that's what they would have done like years ago. And maybe now would be like, just go to the New York Times, something like that.
Jesse Ferguson said, where's the Braid remake? Well, remaster. Man, that was announced forever ago. And then we didn't hear anything about it. I mean, that's something that could be at Microsoft. I mean, Braid heavily associated with Xbox still.
Yeah.
I like Braid.
Yeah. Something like that could easily pop off here. Yeah, I could totally see that. All right. So Xbox Showcase. Did you do your Pie in the Sky one? You said Crimson Skies?
Crimson Skies, bring it back. God, I mean, that's kind of my issue with the AAA games in general. We're playing as too many people, Jeff. I'm tired of all these human-centric AAA games. I want to play as robots and vehicles again some more. Yeah,
I think that there was this sort of accepted common wisdom that people react better when they're playing as a human, and they want to be able to see that human. It's third person human gameplay, and I'm like, I think I'm with you.
I want to be a biplane. That's what I want to play as, actually.
Hell yes, me too. All right, then like I said, the PC Gaming Show happened later that day. Then we get to Ubisoft Forward on Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Mike, any expectations for this show?
I mean, the stuff we can assume, like Assassin's Creed. What I really want from this show, Jeff, is I want that Avatar game to look cool.
Me too.
I loved Way of Water, and that combined with how good that land is in Disney World. I'm an Avatar guy now. I was always like embarrassed because back when it was just that first movie, anytime you brought up that you liked that movie, people had to be like, man, well, cultural impact. What? Now, no one can deny Way of Water because that movie was incredible. So I want that game to be cool, man. Even if it is Ubisofty in some ways, I'll be fine with that. Like if they just made a competent like Far Cry style thing, and it's just an Avatar skin, that'll be fine. I just want it to be good.
Is Avatar's massive? Is what friend named Lee says.
That's right.
They're doing that and Star Wars.
Is that the team doing Star Wars?
Yeah,
Massive?
Star Wars it's massive, right? Massive is the Division.
Right, the Division people, huh? I wonder if we see that aren't some people saying that the Star Wars game is closer than we think?
Yeah, and that's the one I'm like, I'm wondering if we see Star Wars here. I think that's because like there's some stuff that things that are like are almost certainly going to be there, like you said, Assassin's Creed, Mirage, other things that are just likely. But the big questions for me. Yes, is Avatar going to look good? And then is that Star Wars game going to be there? And is that going to look good? And do we get a date? And is it like really soon? Because all that stuff would be very cool.
Yeah, it is. Massive is both of those. They're Avatar. How funny would it be if in the year of Tears of the Kingdom, we all actually look back in December like, yeah, you just can't deny that Avatar game, though. Somehow it was actually... right? Can you imagine?
Would love it if Avatar became Game of the Year. That would rule. That would be incredible.
I'd be so happy.
I want to live in that reality. Absolutely.
Let's go. Let's fucking go. Although, it's sad, though, because now I'm like, man, that Avatar game should just be a Breath of the Wild clone. That would really be the system for that. Oof.
Yeah, definitely. It really would be. Man, you've been following that story about the whales attacking boats?
Yes.
When I see that, I'm like, this is the thing that's probably going to make me vegetarian. Like, this is the thing that makes me feel legit bad about anything I've done to animals.
Can I say, like, seriously, Jeff, like, and it's embarrassing that, like, some stupid movie, the closest I ever came to my life to thinking like that was after Avatar.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
I mean, it's a good movie.
It's oh God, I like that movie, Jeff.
Oh, me too. I watched it 3 times.
Good.
I love it.
So good.
And I'm sure I'm gonna watch it a 4th year pretty soon. I love it so much.
We gotta watch it together.
Yeah, hell yeah, let's do it. We have an Avatar night. I'll paint myself blue. I don't care.
Let's fucking go.
But yeah, I mean, that game has the potential to be something cool. It has the potential to just be like movie game schlock. I hope that we come out of that showcase mostly feeling that it's going to be pretty competent fun, and that would be good enough for me.
That'll be good enough, man.
Yes.
Just give me a decent Avatar
A game in that world
right?
is like it goes a long way because that world is so attractive and
It's a cool world,
enticing.
man.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, I hope that is a real time system so that you when eclipse happens, it actually you see the planet going in front of the star and stuff like that. That would be fantastic. Okay, I mean, for other stuff from Ubisoft, I mean, is there any like catalog game that they haven't done in a while that you hope to see? Like, do you think we hear anything about Prince of Persia remake?
Nope. Don't. They literally said it's still in the conceptual phase.
Conceptual phase. Yep.
Like what the? No.
Beyond Good and
Definitely
Evil
not.
2.
No. No.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so. I don't think. I mean, I'd be shocked if anything actually came out at this point, but I definitely don't think that Beyond Good and Evil 2 is coming out. We'll see. What about Skull and Bones, Jeff?
It has to be there, right? Like they have.
That game was gonna come out. They were. I was. Gosh, I don't know what I was gonna say, but like I was like given a pre-brief that was like produced with a fancy video about getting ready for Skull and Bones. Then they're like, never mind. Actually, like delayed at the last moment.
Yeah, like legit. Like that's one of the latest delays. One of the latest delays that was like a substantial delay because it wasn't like 2 weeks. That's happened before. This is like it'll come out. Oh, do we have a date for that?
No.
Right. It was
I
like,
can't remember.
That's insane. That's so crazy. It's got to be there. I think. It's like even just like for their stock price. I think it's like you like the next investor call. Like, hey, why didn't you talk about Skull and Bones? I think it has to be there, but I honestly don't know if it will be.
I mean, look, the cool thing would be here's a new Rayman again. And like, I guess I should do like 3D platformers, Jeff. And I wish more people would make cool 3D platformers. But boy, it would be cool if we had a new Rayman that was like Rayman 2, The Great Escape, but just really, 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 really pretty.
Yeah, I think that would be very cool. I think Splinter Cell might show up. What do you think?
Yeah, Splinter Cell would be fun.
Yeah, I mean they are making that, and it's sort of a reboot remake.
I wonder if they got anything new ready for Rainbow Six, right? Siege is finally showing age.
Right. They had Extraction, but that was clearly not like a follow-up to Siege. Although their big thing with Rainbow Six from the last year or so has been Rainbow Six Mobile, which is just Siege on phones. So it makes me wonder, like, are they sticking with Siege even longer because they got to like support that? I have no idea, but maybe. But you're right, like Siege is like clearly on the downslope. It's on the other side of the mountain.
Oh, Jesse's right. Like we might just see that Rayman themed DLC for Mario plus Rabbids.
Yeah, we might. We probably will.
Neat, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would like a Rayman 3D 2 or Rayman 2 2.
Okay. Not Rayman 3 2, Rayman 2 2.
Yeah, Rayman 2 2. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Other stuff from Ubisoft, I think it's mostly like known quantities, things that people know that they're going to see. Anything else from Ubisoft though, Mike?
No. I mean, there's like weird things. Like, what was that melee combat game they had? Do you think they make a sequel to that?
I don't remember.
What's that called? Remember the guy with the cane who presented it? We all liked him.
Oh, For Honor?
For Honor.
Oh, I don't know. I think For Honor's not coming back. I don't think.
No, that's too bad. That was a neat game.
Yeah, I think it. They made their attempt to turn it into like this ongoing live service thing, and they gave it a real long try.
I felt bad identifying a man because he had a cane, by the way.
Yeah, but it was a cool cane, so I think.
Yeah, it was a cool game, but still, not my. Nah, I shouldn't do that.
Not your finest moment. Fair enough. That's totally fair. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be cool For Honor, but I think For Honor in a world where all those live service games have sort of come out and fizzled, and companies are pulling away from that stuff, I think For Honor's the kind of one that doesn't get another chance. So
it's too bad.
We'll see. Okay, and that's it basically. Let's see. After Ubisoft, there is the Xbox Extended Showcase. Who knows what'll be there? It'll be clearly deeper dives and some stuff that's going to get announced. There could be new announcements there, but that'll be like a more Nintendo Treehouse style thing than a showcase proper. But yeah, I don't know. Overall, Mike, how are you feeling about this Summer Game Fest season today, especially compared to like past years as we go into like E3?
Yeah, I mean, it really is largely all eyes on Xbox for me, I guess. That's what I'm really zoned in on. That's really where I'm hoping things deliver. Everything else is kind of going to feel like gravy, to be honest. Like, faith in Ubisoft is also just kind of low. So it's like,
Yep.
hey, we'll see if they can dig themselves out of a trench, I guess. And then Keeley's thing, it's so hard to know what's going to be at Keeley's thing because it wasn't a great show last year. So I just don't have expectations for it.
Yep, I'm right there with you on all that. All right, well, we'll see what happens. If anyone wants to call us back after everything and remind us how wrong we were, we'll definitely hear you out. So make that happen. All right, do we have any more super chats, Mike?
We do. From Ariel Delgado says, I want Fable, Hellblade, and Avowed. I think a lot of people want those things, Jeff.
Yeah, I think
I want those things.
I think you get those. You get a couple other things.
Actually, I don't want we talked about this before, how me and you don't really care about Hellblade.
Yeah. I did not enjoy playing Hellblade 1. That's just all it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Cinema Cal says the sequel to 1 to Switch has been announced. Yeah, we saw that, Cinema Cal. That is sure is something.
Yep.
Here's Al Grog saying, will EA announce a new remake or show Skate 4? Oh, yeah. Well, like, I wonder if there's another remake in the works after the success of Dead Space 1. It might be too early for the Dead Space 2 remake or whatever.
Yeah, it's definitely too early.
What else would they remake?
Maybe EA shows up with like Iron Man, something like that. Or maybe which one's first, Iron Man or Black Panther? I'm the one who reported this, and I can't remember. I don't
remember, Jeff.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
The Andrew 13 says, Fight Forever had an Xbox Game Pass rumor earlier. Any chance? I mean, I don't think so. You think it'd be announced by now? I guess it could.
No,
I guess they show up because the showcase. Yeah,
those third-party deals, at least in the past, as I've heard them, always get closed really, really, really late in the process, like almost like 2 weeks before they're about to come out late. So maybe. I just think that's usually when we hear about these sort of rumors, they don't actually pan out. So we'll see.
There you go. There is a chance. So we'll see. But not much of it. MN Goldie says, I think Devolver Digital shows should get more respect. These are some of the games announced this 2020. Fall Guys, Trek to Yomi, Inscription, Inscription, Call the Lamb, Angerfoot, Plucky Squire, Skate Story. I mean, I think you're absolutely right, Goldie, but like, how do we predict, right?
That's the thing. Yeah, we can't predict it. Yeah.
I predict we will see another cool indie game that's going to even be part of Game of the Year talk. So I think it's going to be worth watching for that for sure.
Yep, totally. And Plucky Squire, I would love to see that again, even though we just saw it in the showcase. So yeah, let's go. Absolutely.
Connell Wood says, Silksong release date or we ride. That's the thing. Do you show that game again if you don't actually have a release date at this point? And it's probably scary for those people to commit to a release date.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe you don't.
Alex says, any chance of hearing about a follow-up to Doom? Yeah, what is it up to, Jeff?
Oh, it is one we didn't really actually mention. There was that rumor that it is helping out with Starfield.
I could believe that.
Yeah, they're helping out with the combat in Starfield, and like now people are like, actually, the combat in the game kind of rules now. It's like, well, that would be cool. I hope that is true. That would be very cool.
Prinny Dude says, play Everspace 2, Mike. It's the Rogue Squadron RPG I didn't know I wanted. It's also on Game Pass. So it's probably because I've
heard good things about this game. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I was talking about Crimson Skies, basically kind of thing. I've actually bought and installed Everspace 2. I'm ready to go. I'm going to try it. It's so busy. Yeah, probably like later in June. That's one I'm revving up to try because it totally looks like my jam for sure. Prinny Dude also says, Game Pass Family Plan at the Xbox Showcase? ?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I think so. That's the pricing was about $25 per month to get 5 accounts. I think something like that. So I think that's a fair price. It's also the kind of thing that I think is a good way for them to grow Game Pass.
And I like Alligator here doing our jobs for us because we didn't really talk about this, but what will they show for Starfield during the showcase? What are we expecting from Starfield, Jeff? Because expectations are very high, and I think they know they gotta impress people here. And it's hard to impress people with like a video of a video game these days, huh? Yes,
I think it's very hard to impress people with a video of a video game. I think it's very hard to impress people in 2023 with a game that is going to be a Bethesda RPG. And it's like the expectations for this game go so far beyond what a Bethesda RPG is going to provide. Like, it's going to provide like endless fun for a lot of people, modding support and a ton of content and like all these different routes you can go down, and it's going to be this awesome place to explore. But people are like, well, yeah, but why it doesn't look as good as God of War Ragnarok? It's like, it's just never going to be that game. So I think the deck is a little bit stacked against that game. I still think it'll probably have a pretty good showing. They need to show everything that makes it fun. They really do. They need to show, okay, you're going to be exploring in space. What makes that fun? You're going to be doing combat. What makes that fun? You're going to be like meeting all kinds of different alien species and interacting with all these things. Okay, how is that fun? I think that should be their number one priority, because I think they did an okay job of like promising a big universe last time, but is it filled with stuff that people want to do? That's still a lot of question marks there.
Here's my question for you, Jeff. What frame rate is that trailer running at?
30 frames per second, Mike. And
fuck you, no way.
I think 30 frames per second. That's one where I'm like, I'm not going to try to even get my hopes up for 60 on console for that. And if it is, good, but I'm expecting 30.
I just don't see it, man. I know everybody else says 30. It's Bethesda. Yeah, we haven't had a game from them in like a decade. That was then, this is now, man.
It's just that's the company where it's like when you run some of their things at 60 frames per second, it would break their games, I think, on console. Or we might think it from. I think it's both that did it. Because they would attach the physics to
like, I don't want to like set up like if it's 30 frames per second, I don't care anymore. But gosh, I hope it's 60 frames per second.
You're allowed to be disappointed if it's not 60 frames per second. Absolutely.
Well, thank you. Oh, actually, well, okay, maybe I will be then. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, there you go. You have my permission. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think that this is Starfield better. WoW, and if they're doing a whole separate Starfield Direct, they seem like they must be confident in it. They are putting a lot of resources into it. We know that now because Phil Spencer's explicitly said it. I hope it's true about id Software going there and helping out, and I hope all of that is super evident in the video. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even want to bring that juju out there, but imagine if this game comes out and it's like a 70 something on Metacritic. Just imagine the shitstorm.
Yeah, it'll be a nightmare.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think so either, but I don't want to deal with it if it is. Like,
I don't want to deal with it, let alone.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll
people
just go back to, I'll
right?
replay Tears of the Kingdom in the beginning if that happens.
Yeah, I'll play New Vegas.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I think I got that for free recently. It was on Epic Games Store. I can play New Vegas.
Oh, all right. Hell yeah. Any other super chats?
I think we did get another one here from a couple more from Emmett Goldie. Says, more than any game, I want Andrew WK to sing Party Hard at a practice conference. Who's the Andrew WK?
I fucking hate you.
What? Who?
Really? He's the guy that wears the white
guy?
He wears the white t-shirt and he has a bloody nose. You right? Does that sound familiar?
What?
He was at Bethesda's conference.
Roshi?
He was at No. He was at Bethesda conference a few years ago and did a musical thing. You're not going to remember. I hate this. I hate you.
All right. Next super chat here is from Slippery Moose Cakes. That's fine. The only thing to save Xbox is the return of 1 versus 100. Well, then they're in trouble, Slippery. I don't think that's happening. I don't think that's happening. Chris Davis sent a super chat, but there was no message. Chris, if you meant to have a message attached to that, if you write it in chat now, I'll see it, and we will still bring it up.
Andrew WK is married to Kat Dennings. All right, good for him.
Oh, good for them.
I
guess yeah.
I didn't know I was talking to a fellow connoisseur. All right.
Jeff, we still have to talk a little about some games we've been playing. Maybe we'll get some more super chats in. I'm not sure if we take one more break.
I'm doing it right now.
Now I'm going to take the dog out.
All right. He's going to hit that break. We'll come back. We'll talk about some games. Yeah. I mean,
how don't you know Andrew WK? What the fuck? He's the whitest ass motherfucker I've ever seen in my life.
But has he done a Disney soundtrack or a musical?
Does Mike know what music is?
I know. I don't think so. He knows show tunes.
That's fucking butter.
Oh, Wolf, I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty tired. It was a busy day. It sucked. I'm just
10 minutes to Street Fighter. Let's see. No, it's not out.
Shouldn't it be an hour and 10 minutes?
It says 30 minutes, 10 minutes for me. I live in.
I was playing that game right before the show. I was playing it for 10 minutes.
My day.
Well, fuck you for having a job in the industry.
Fuck you.
Yeah, pretty good stuff.
Piece of shit.
Yeah, so I'm feeling like
I play since December.
It just says I can play it now, but it's not unlocking. It's not what?
What's going to be the hard counter for Lily so I can beat Mike?
This nuts. I don't know, bro.
Maybe
God,
it's
what a
just
totes
a
you
good
are.
Honda. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mess around with some characters tonight. We'll see.
Learn a Shoto. That'll help you, like a Ryu or a Cat.
Love you too, Shoshi.
Yeah, I was thinking I would just kind of actually learn a Ryu actually tonight. I was thinking. So
There you go.
You saw my combo video I should show here? No, you didn't.
no, I didn't.
It was pretty cool. I can show you after the podcast.
Goldie,
I'll show you. I'll show you my combo, bro.
I was not sure about announcing the guest list because I don't remember them doing that in the past. But my understanding is they haven't been as organized as I've been, I guess. I've been like way overthinking it and like they kind of just slapped it together. So I do have a guest list. I might do a thing where it's like, and this person will be there and that person. Like, you know, I mean, Imran Khan will be there. How about that? There you go. Here's your first tease.
Oh,
and,
shit. Maybe some Argentinian
World.
people.
Maybe,
will
yes, some
show up. I don't
Argentinian
know.
people will be there. That's true.
I don't know.
That's absolutely true.
They told me to say nothing, don't say anything, but fuck it. I don't care.
Oh shit, we're importing Christian. Nice.
Yes.
We're getting a whole bunch of Christians. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. They're all the same.
You get fucking ready.
Snowbike Mike will be there.
Hide your wives, motherfuckers.
Here, I'll tell you. Night one, the final panel will be Dan Reichert, Mike Minotti,
Oh.
Snowbike Mike, and Mary Kish.
Oh, my God.
Does that sound like a good time? That sounds like a great time to me. I'm
If
like,
you survive that, you're
because I'm gonna be
immortal.
hosting all the things. So I'm gonna be like mostly like not knowing what's going on, and they're gonna come and they're gonna have been drinking all night, and it's gonna be a nightmare.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a nightmare.
And then
I'm telling you. That
let's
Mary
see.
Kish lady, she can hold her liquor.
The last one.
I've seen her do it.
Let's keep this between us. Everyone chat. The last segment for the last night is it's gonna be Patrick Klepit, Dan Reichert, and Jan Ochoa. That's what we're doing right now. If we can pull that off, you know, these things are subject to change, so don't get
Oh,
too hyped
Yes.
because things could change.
speaking of Patrick Klepek, they released a new podcast Twitch called Remap.
Oh, they did.
The
Did they
Weapon
announce
folks.
it? Okay. Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
I'm glad.
Oh, they're not done.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, yeah, they're
Remap.
remap. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a good
Remap.
name.
Go follow them on. I just saw their Twitch channel and I followed them there. It's just Remap on
And
Twitch.
our
so
thing remap instead of game man.
they might. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're doing Patreon. I really don't know because they announced it right as this podcast started. So didn't pay
Hey
attention.
guys, if you want in the game mess, Diablo 4 clan is called Fat Goobers 2. The PH Fat
Beautiful.
Goobers 2.
I like how he complains about the name Game Mess, and then he says he names something, and it's the most beautiful
Sure,
name
yeah.
I've ever heard.
For real, yeah.
He totally redeems himself.
Fat,
Fat Goobers too.
Goobers.
Hey
Hell yeah,
Mike,
let's
what
go.
does POG stand for?
Fat ass
Exactly.
white girl.
But as white goobers.
All right, let's bring this back. Let's go. Okay. All right, we're back, and I am wondering, Mike, what have you been playing?
Street Fighter 6, baby. Man,
Yeah.
is it good. It's so much fun. I'm so excited just for the servers to go back online. I think people are playing. So after this, I'll probably jump on there for a bit. It's so much fun, Jeff. It's just a strong start for a game that's going to have a long life with, DLC, new characters, new stages, maybe even new modes, costumes, what have you. But just that game, it feels so good. The tutorial and teaching tools are so much fun. I think it's going to make it easier than ever for people to learn characters.
Yeah, where is that going to be? Just the training mode? Is that where that is?
If you pick training mode, like one of the negatives is that the menus are like not great, but
Right. So I think that's over in
fighting ground,
and then
from
practice.
there practice, and then there's like training, but tutorials is where you'll get a tutorial for each character.
Okay.
And do that because it's not just like here's how you do a fireball, right? It is much more specifically here's like
The
why this
theory
character's
about when
good.
you do it. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But then from the train, and you Tam talked about this in your quick look that you guys did, but just like the options you have in straight up training mode, the things you can make the computer do that you can practice against, is great. But when I was playing games online, I probably played like 100 matches. I had one match that like had lag, that I could really notice.
Ooh,
And again, it was a
exciting.
review period, but good sign. That fighting, the World Tour mode is fun. It's like a mini Yakuza kind of thing. Now, is it, like, do I want to play that instead of like regular Street Fighter 6 necessarily? Yeah, not super necessarily. Although I'm going to now because apparently that's how you get Cammy's classic costume. Is you got to become her bestest friend in there, and I'll become her.
That seems worth it. That seems worth it.
Yeah, either that or pay real money. But
I saw a graphic of her doing that stretch in that costume, and I think I need that costume.
There you go. I think I thought I noticed a few more hairs on your chest there, Jeff. But yeah, it's a fun mode. It's a very goofy mode, but it's interesting. I think I'm glad they did this instead of doing another bad story mode. Like they're trying to do an imitation.
They've
of
found
Mortal
what's
Kombat
going
thing.
to work for them. Like a mini Yakuza is exactly where they should be putting their efforts for the single player stuff. That is, they can build on that going forward, and that there's a lot of juice to squeeze from that, I think.
Sorry, you made me think of Cammy again.
No, I understand.
Fantastic. Yeah. So I'm just really happy with it. I'm excited to play more. I'm going to be getting online. Maybe we can pass the days where we get some lobbies going. We have some game messers fighting each other. I know a lot of people in our community are excited for it. It's going to be great.
Yep, I played a little bit before we got started, like 10 minutes worth. I wanted to play more, but busy over here. And it's like, yeah, man, it just already feels really, really good. I'm not sure if my fighting stick, which is really just an arcade stick, not really made for fighting games necessarily. I don't know how good it's going to be because I think I'm getting false up inputs. So I'm jumping when I don't want to be. And I'm like that. I can't tell if that's me just having poor joystick inputs or if it's the thing itself. So
some asshole told me that I should just use the D-pad on my controller, and I've been doing great. I rarely ever. It's really good. I'm at a position now. If I want to do something, I'll do it. It's just a matter of, is that the thing I should have done now? I'm not missing inputs, even things like full circle command grabs and stuff like that.
The way you said that, you are using the D-pad.
Yeah.
Okay. Just some asshole told me to use the D-pad. I wasn't sure.
That asshole was correct.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome, voice of God.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. It is, it's. I also realized this is a game that looks cheery. It looks blue sky. It looks fun, and everyone looks like they're having a good time as they're beating each other up. And then Diablo 4 is here, and it's like grim dark. Let's go. I'm so glad these two games are complementing each other. It's like when Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing came out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is like, oh, these two games are right here because even Diablo's early access started, so I'm gonna I gotta boot that up soon. So I'm excited for that too. Although both of these things, it's I'm gonna really dig into these, and I just have to disappear for a week while we do the summer game mess up. And there's another big June game coming out soon that is really on the horizon, almost like it's threatening me with how much time it's gonna take up to. Man, when I get back, I almost just want to take a week off. Just play video games, man. I know. Just sit down and play some shit.
I'm for the first time since starting this job thinking about taking some time off, and it's I don't know when I would be able to do that, but let's get past some big games later this month, and then we'll see. It's already June. It is wild.
It's crazy.
It's for me, what I've been playing, it's all been Tears of the Kingdom still. And it's still really great. I am
it's still fantastic.
I don't really have a lot of time to play it during the week though. So I'm I put a lot of time in over the weekends though. I spend basically as much time as I can on the weekends I'm playing that game. But it's okay, this is going to be the last weekend really where I could do that. I'm maybe I could play some tonight, and no, I really can't because I got ready for Diablo. So maybe Friday night I'll play some. But I want to be in a good position with that game before Summer Game Fest, and it's that is looking less and less likely. And it's man, that's what I'm thinking. This time next week, it's not just oh, I'll be traveling. We will be in the thick of it. This will be Summer Game Fest time by this time next week. So we're here. I cannot believe it's already June. It is, that goes back to this has been a good year for gaming, though. A very good year for gaming. A lot of great games. I am very happy that we have reached a point where most of the games that we were excited about before the year are coming out, and they are excellent. That it's been a long time since we've had a year like that, so it's good that we can still get to this point with gaming. I'm mostly pretty satisfied.
Yeah, I've been having a nice time just playing Tears of the Kingdom while watching some of some of games done quick, which has been, I've been able to watch as much as I want because again, so busy. But there's been some fun runs there. I had to see that Ratatouille run you were talking about.
Yeah,
that sounds
it's fun.
absolutely
It's
crazy.
not too long. It's a good time. They really went for the bit and they never abandoned it, which is very brave of them. All right, you know what? I want to get back to playing games. Let's do some Street Fighter, Diablo, Tears of the Kingdom. Whatever anyone's playing, it's like you got the world is your oyster right now. So I'm gonna go back and play one of those. I'll probably play all three of them here this weekend.
Yeah.
But I think that's gonna wrap it up for this show,
We got
Mike.
a couple
Anything
more
else?
super chats.
Oh, that's right.
Couple more super
Hit
chats.
me with those super chats, and then we'll get wrapping up.
Yeah, we got from the Uncharted Wolf. My theory is that Nintendo announced the 1-2 Switch for June 30th so that they could avoid the Game Mess Metacritic predictions. Speaking of that, what's the Metacritic? Oh, shit, Jeff, what's the Metacritic?
What's
everybody 1-2 Switch?
Oh, I'm gonna go with a 59.
52.
Okay, all right, I like it.
All right.
Neither of us were brave enough to go sub 50, but
No.
I think it's 59. I'm gonna go 59.
Yeah. We get some 50 games late. Greg says, you kill the spooky hands in Tears, it's worth it. I've killed one set of spooky hands. I need to go back to the other one for sure.
These are the spooky hands that kind of like
the grabby hands.
the Death Stranding thing, or
yeah, the Death Stranding thing, exactly.
Okay. No, I've not killed those yet. I haven't really thought about it. I just kind of run and scream.
I'm like about to start the last temple, and I've done a lot of other stuff now. I'm going to roll credits.
Yep.
Probably like by the end of this weekend, and I'm excited. The game is so good. Like
It's
so much.
really good.
It's so much fun.
It starts strong and it just gets better because as you get more powerful and more capable, it's like it just unlocks more possibilities. It's
right. Like early on, it's still fun. There's a lot of times we're like, well, I don't think I can do that now. But now I think I can do anything. I come across boss, I could probably take it on. Right. So that's a really fun position to be in. So yeah, the game does just get better. I even unlocked that thing that like shows your entire trail throughout the entire game.
The hero's journey or whatever.
Yeah. So that's always just kind of fun. But it's neat. It's actually useful because I'm like, well, guess where I haven't been?
I haven't been over there. Weird. Oh man. Okay. How do you? Okay, I'm gonna ask you. Actually, I want you to spoil that for me. That'd be cool.
I'll tell you.
Hero's Path. There we go, Dougman. Thank you.
Path. I'll tell you to get that. Yeah, don't worry. But yeah, that's it, Jeff. Let's get out of here. Let's go playing some video games or sleep. Sleep's good too.
Sleep is very good. All right, let me turn this up for everybody. Okay. All right, Mike, where can people find you on the internet going forward and into the future?
Twitter and Twitch at Tokoto. New 90s Disney is up, everybody, about Fantasmic, the incredible nighttime show spectacular at Disneyland and Disney World. Check that out at 90sdisney.com and all the podcast places. A lot more of you have been checking out that show recently, by the way. We really appreciate it. We've been having a lot of fun getting your comments and getting your nice messages over there, so thank you. And then, Robo Mitch. A new Robo Mitch came out today. Please check that out, everybody. It was an exciting Robo Mitch.
Like Mike said, for 90s Disney, also true over here. We've been growing a lot. It's been growing fast. People watched that video I did about PlayStation over the weekend. Thank you for watching that. But also, more people have been listening to the show. It's been growing steadily. It's that time of year as we get to the Summer Game Fest stuff. People do tend to tune in more. If you stick with us afterwards, we really appreciate it. If you're just dipping in because this is when you pay attention to game news and things like that, you're also welcome to do that.
Like a Chris Easter Christian, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Welcome to your Easter Mass, everybody. We that's totally fine. I will be on Giant Bomb doing stuff. We're going to be doing a Diablo stream tomorrow if the servers hold up. We'll see how things go. Game Mess mornings, definitely tune in for that. But really, next week, Summer Game Fest, we will be doing a lot of coverage. Most of that coverage will come in the form of the night shows until we gotta get back and we can edit some stuff. That reminds me, Sean, if Jan hasn't reached out to you, I need to talk to you about some things for our plans for that stuff. But it's gonna be fun. Those night shows are gonna be a really good time. I've got the schedule planned out now. We got commitments from like the voice actor for Clive from Final Fantasy. We've got some executives coming by.
I'm gonna ask him some annoying lore questions. I bet he'll like that.
I bet he's gonna love that. I'm gonna love that. Thank you for listening, everybody. Till next time, goodbye. Master Chief.
Enjoy your gaming. Enjoy your gaming. Enjoy your gaming.